live, and be. Music provided by sourcevibrations.com.
I am love. I am peace. I am free. I have abundance. I have everything within me. For I was, for I am, for I will always be. We are love. We are peace. We are free. We have abundance. We have everything within us. For we are, for we will always be. For Mother Earth is love. For Mother Earth has peace. For Mother Earth is free. For Mother Earth has abundance. For Mother Earth has everything within her. For she was, for she is, for she will always be. And so it is spoken. So it has been written, and it is done.
You have entered into a dimension of truth, where time does not exist and illusions are shattered. The journey of truth is intense. The journey of truth will set you free. Consider this a warning as you enter the dimension of truth uncompromised.
All right. Peace and love, family. All right, tonight is June 11th. And we have a great show planned for you. We are continuing our series. Forgive me. Hold on a sec. Trying to get used to all this equipment, child. The Real Pilgrams, the true story of immigrants coming to America. We are on part 32. So our main source of reference for this series are really three books. The first one is White Trash: The 400-Year Untold History of Class in America by Nancy Eisenberg. They were white, and they were slaves. The untold history of enslavement of America, the enslavement of whites in early America by Michael A. Hoffman II. The final book, and this is our second time using this book. We used it in the Black Nobility series. It's the Negro Question Part 6. The 13 Black Colonies by Lee Cummings. All right, so with that said, I am going to bring on my co-host. See y'all saying y'all. I got an echo. So hold on, bear with me here. I will try to figure out the echo. It's always something, no matter how much I test this. So bear with me. You might lose the YouTube feed, but hold on. I'll have to try to clear up the echo. But let me bring on my co-host. This damn equipment never works right. Hold on.
Q&A session has started.
Okay. All right, I see Brother Sean and I see Sis. So I'm going to bring on Sis first. Peace and love, Sis. How are you?
Peace and love to you too, Sis Rhonda. Can you hear me? Because I had muted myself in the beginning.
Yes, sweetheart. I hear you very well.
Oh, good. Because I pressed *6. I'm doing great. How about you and Brother Sean and the family? Hi.
Hey, Sis. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, good to hear yours too.
Okay, let me bring on Brother Sean. Second. My volume just keeps changing.
It's clear.
Yeah, but YouTube's getting feedback. Peace and love, brother.
Listen, power. How y'all doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good.
Good deal.
Just enjoying every time.
Good show.
Great show.
Cool.
Great show. That was right. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say right now.
All right, so I am going to switch out to my phone. And then we're going to continue. But before I do that, Sis, you want to start us off with go ahead on with the fuckery.
Oh, wow, I get the privilege, huh? Man, this is some crazy stuff. I knew it had to be something than just one little old person that's getting killed when they done killed so many. I think it was 1,000 I saw that the police had killed, but this one is special. This one is super special. He's so super special. They bowing to him. They taking the knee to him. They wearing the henti or the dashiki, whatever that thing's called, people think it's African, but they're bowing to this man. And I'm like, holy crud, what's going on here? And if you look at the pictures where the police department was burning, you can kind of like see spirits going up out of there. I'm like, wait a minute. And, of course, that was shown on The Simpsons. So what are we doing here? What is the deal? What is the ticket? My theory is that was the Ijiji's leader. That could be what they call Marduk that was here. I don't know who he is, but all of these people are bowing to this man, and he's in a gold casket, and they said that it was open for a few minutes when they brought him in, I guess private viewings or whatever, and then it's closed during the service. But it's kind of interesting to use gold and black and orange And these senators is bowing. They try to change the systems and defund the police officers. And what it's, to me, it's a change of leadership of the ages. That's what I see. That we've gone into the age of Aquarius, and I believe this is a symbolistic situation of changing the ages, and somebody else is in charge now. Now, he did things that were negatively looked at by civilization. So, like, Sean said, I had those things too, that he was a porn star, and the burning of the police station, it looked like sacrifice stuff. Like what you call that, Moloch. Looked like Moloch in that thing, and he had the symbols of it. So he may have been the dark side that's been running this planet for a long time. I mean, a long time, and the age is up. Now that's what I get. But if I'm wrong, we'll find out, because nobody really knows what's going on. And my son gave you that picture of the king of Hawaii, you say, on that pedestal. Was that at the Smithsonian? I don't know. But they have all the art.
Yeah, we're actually going to get into that. He sent the picture, and I'm going to pull it up for the YouTube family, too. So he sent me the picture, and he said, look at the background. So I pulled it up. And it was on and popping. Him and I was texting him what I saw, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to chop it up tonight. So I'm going to bring that picture up for the family. And we're definitely going to chop it up because, yes, as you said, sis, everything they do is a ritual. Let's be clear. Every single thing that they do publicly and privately, I can only speak on what I see them do publicly, is a ritual. So that was a form of ritual. So we're going to get into it. So I'm going to go on and let you finish with that because, we got that fire for you tonight.
But so, and then they're all pretty much the white people and Mexicans. And, of course, the Mormons said in that video I saw some years ago, the ones that came down to help the earth turned white. And the rest of them stayed black. And so that, I said, okay, I got it. How do they know? How do all these people know to get out there? How do they know? It's some internal clock inside of them, because I spoke to a melanated female, and she said, yeah, I see it. That's all she can do is say, yeah, I see it. A lot of us don't have the urge to go do anything, but the ones that have the urge to go do, I think they have something inside of them that's making them do that.
Right.
It's like a clock and ticked. It's time to go. And, of course, you get some that's paid to start it, and they have leaders, they're organized, and they out there. So I think that we just turned the corner. I saw a heading about the money system is about to switch over, and a lot of money is going to be generated out there to people. I didn't listen to the investment part of it, but that's what I took a picture of it. So everything is changing, everything, and they trying to get Trump out of there because Trump is irreverent to their cause. But that could be a front. I don't know. But
I even think the Trump card thing is a front because remember, just in my opinion, that's why he was put in there, and his name is the Trump card, so meaning Joker, he can play it any way
he wants.
Yeah. So I feel that he was definitely put in there for the purpose of the changing of the guards.
Right.
So everything that they're doing is showing you that it's the changing of the guard.
Now, this heading here says America, our massive wealth transfer starts now. This is what it's from an ad they had on there on AT&T.net. The Queen has officially ended her reign. And that was on there, too. I said, and they say because of coronavirus. I said, yeah, okay, Corona.
Yeah,
maybe because she's an R1B1 and she's not legal. So it's it's a change. It's change of the guards.
Yep.
And I'm just looking at it.
Sound like that the Sarah Jaceros.
Huh? What you say?
Sound like the Sarah and Jacera.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, what you call it? A reset?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's much bigger than the supposed financial system.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brother Sean.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you can go ahead on with your fuckery, Brother Sean.
We passed an executive order today.
Oh, it did.
Stating about the ICC, International Court, that U.S. citizens don't fall up under their jurisdiction. They never. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
He said they never agreed to their terms. He said they never were subjected or came under their laws. So they have no jurisdiction.
Really? Over U.S. citizens?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like as far as for the soldiers who are in foreign countries and are accused of war crimes, the International Court can't try them.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He said that the United States would try their own citizens.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, he's breaking with them then, right?
He's saying that he was never with them.
ICC, the International Court.
Yes. He said that the United States, they never played ball with them. Said
he tried to do. Yeah. The
said they wasn't about to start now. Now, the reason that I bring that up is the whole thing about jurisdiction and not being up under the law. Now, he knows this is a corporation.
Right.
Right.
And he's saying that they didn't agree to that merger with the rest of them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Saying.
And, of course, he's basing this off the Constitution.
Well,
now, for those who still choose to want to do paperwork, watch what's going on with the paperwork game now. But as you see, there's another aspect that don't give a fuck about the paperwork. True. They like, we'll just burn everything down. Fuck you and your paperwork. Now, considering as outsiders is coming into our communities doing this stuff, how much do we really own, though? Did you check out the insurance policies of the places that burned down?
Mm-hmm.
People getting money out of all this fuckery.
As usual.
Yeah.
And niggas just running around acting ignorant, just to act ignorant and ain't getting shit.
As usual.
I mean, they might get, a couple flat screens, some tennis shoes and shit. All that shit on tape.
Right.
They forget that this is a live exercise. They said that months ago.
Sure did. Because didn't Trump card say to do, excuse me, family?
Yeah, you should have told him. Yeah, he's like, he could have let me know.
Should have told us. That's right.
Right.
He sure did. Yes,
so he was even in the dark about this shit for people that always want to blame him. He's a puppet.
Yep.
Like we've been telling you. He may be an antagonizing puppet to get on a lot of motherfuckers' nerves, but he don't bother me.
No, me either. That's funny.
Because, I mean, I like to hear him talk reckless to motherfuckers, especially motherfuckers in the media sitting up trying to spread lies. I love to hear him go off on them.
Because he has absolutely no filter. None whatsoever.
It's the greatest entertainment on TV. I'm tired of these politicians coming on trying to talk all pretty and be politically correct. Motherfucker, say what you feel. That's what I'm watching for. I'm watching to hear some real shit.
Exactly.
I don't want all this fake
Say that shit you be saying behind closed doors. Exactly.
Right. Right. I want to hear it all. I want the juice.
Exactly.
And I don't know, this just people just rioting, and it's not for anything substantial.
No.
It's all for a hoax, a play, an act was performed in front of your face, and people took good action to really do nothing until Antifa came in and done all the dirty work and just got you niggas to participate and become human shields.
Right.
They got let right out.
At the beginning.
Yeah, so, I mean, some of you niggas, you still got shit to deal with at home with them police. They remember your black ass. They already knew you.
Yep.
And the police were never put here to protect us anyway. They're here to protect the corporation.
Exactly. To protect the corporation's interests and their property. Absolutely.
I mean, it's just so many of our people that say they don't need them, this, that, or the other, but you're the first motherfuckers to call them.
True that, because you know they talking about this whole, and I see you 832, and I'm glad to see you this week. So I see you 832. Dad, somebody else was in the queue. I see you. I'm coming to you, sweetie. Yeah, Brother Sean, not to interrupt you, because, yeah, you know they were talking that stuff this week about defunding the police and all of that, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, but they know that they really don't want to do that. I mean, that's their first line of defense.
Exactly.
Right.
Because, I mean, without all them police around, I think people would have been put foot to some ass, or, you know. All of this is to cause the economy to crash. You remove all the police. Niggas was riding and looting with the police there. Imagine if there is no police.
Right.
Now, if niggas stupid enough to fall for this dumb shit, then
they won't be able to sleep.
No, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
They deserve the space in the FEMA camp that they will get. Mm-hmm. Guantanamo Bay is open for business.
Yeah, it is.
They got all them guillotines and everything. They got all new shit. They totally upgraded, and niggas want to act stupid when it ain't even our fight.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, I mean, they got room. I mean, they would love to get in some practice. What is it Trump had said to scare them Antifa motherfuckers off? He was like, oh, yeah, we got plenty of young soldiers who would love to get in some experience. They're just wild and ready to go.
Right.
So, I mean, he admitting they got motherfuckers that's just ready to put down anybody that's labeled a terrorist.
Right.
If you keep rioting and looting, you're labeled a terrorist because Antifa has been labeled a terrorist organization. And if you out there with them, guess what? You're a terrorist.
Right.
It's just too many ways to go about things. And right now they fighting each other. Get your shit together.
Go home. Sit down.
Yeah. I agree. And, you know, just to add to that, my whole thing is when they were talking about this week, defund the police, this, that, and the third, you know, some are saying that they're not talking about getting rid of the police altogether. They're talking about taking away some of their budget and putting it towards other organizations on behalf to help neighborhoods. My thing is this, and I've been consistent with this. If you can't control your household, you can't control your block.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control your block, you can't control your neighborhood. If you can't control your neighborhood, you can't control and run a nation. So my thing is, melanated people, are you prepared for, quote, quote, power to be handed to you? And from what I see, no. Because as people are marching or protesting or whatever the case may be for Floyd, meanwhile in Chi-Town, the motherfucking murders are off the chain. And nobody says a goddamn thing about it. That's overlooked. Just last weekend, 35 people were shot. I forgot how many perished out of that. Now, that's just one weekend. Memorial weekend, same thing. And a handful of folks died. So, how is that governing self? And these are the things as melanated people that we need to be taking a look at and be serious about the shit. Because at the end of the day, it ain't the motherfucking white man's job to police you. It ain't the motherfucking white man's job to educate your children. None of that. So now if you want the power, you got to have the motherfucking responsibility to go with it. So a lot of cleanup, a lot of healing needs to be done within the community. Now fucking go march and motherfucking protest that. But yet when people speak on those things, oh, that ain't the focus. What the fuck you mean that ain't the focus? Just as many people die, let me restate that. More people die by violence within their own neighborhoods than the fucking cops. If we want to keep it real, motherfucking real. I done said this, I don't know how many times. Sweep around your own doorstep. You have to be responsible for self. You have to grow the fuck up. You cannot be asking the white man to do something that you can't even do for your fucking self. Now, that don't make logical sense to me. So now they can scream all they want to defund the police. Are you really ready for that? Because with the police even around, you still can't even govern your own communities. And we know the whole drug thing is a covert operation. We know the dropping off of the guns, and specifically in Chi-Town, in the neighborhoods, woo. But with all of that, still, it takes action for folks to put that in play within these neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm. Just like they did with the bricks.
So now let's protest that. I'm sorry, go ahead, Brother Sean.
Just like they did with the videos showing the bricks that were set in place. They could do live videos showing them trucks dropping off guns.
Exactly.
And also, it's like, it's really not that difficult to see that everything is based upon your consent, your willingness to do whatever to keep this game going on. Their lives depend on this system being in play.
That's right.
Whether we're talking about the old one or the new one.
That is correct.
Right now, you fighting over the old or the new system instead of the removal of the systems, period.
Exactly. Exactly.
Ain't none of this theirs.
Exactly.
Now, if they want to sit in the middle of a bunch of awakened, melanated people, y'all supposed to be awakened, y'all supposed to be conscious, right?
Right.
If they want to sit in the middle of a circle of us and fight each other to the death, we ain't supposed to be jumping in shit.
And not a goddamn thing. Sip on your drinky, smoke on your smoke.
Right.
Eat your motherfucking snack and mind your fucking business.
Right, and don't let a motherfucker crawl out that circle. That's all the fuck you supposed to do. You supposed to push a motherfucker back in when they try and run out and get on your side. You supposed to push that motherfucker back in like you did when you was little. And y'all surrounded the people that was fighting so couldn't nobody see.
Right.
And somebody try and get out, you push them back in. Same shit.
Exactly.
But I guess that's too difficult when we're not doing that to each other.
Exactly.
We're never going to get away from that with me. Y'all talk about all this shit that they do and keep ignoring what we do to each other. Whether that includes being a part of the medical community. Where's the protest about how many people are killed in the hospitals?
Can't argue.
Now those numbers outnumber the black-on-black crime, white-on-white crime, police-on-black crime combined. Hospitals kill more black people, quote-unquote black people, than any institution on this planet. Where's the protest about that?
Exactly.
But y'all keep running to them motherfuckers, just like you did during this COVID thing. And look how many of y'all got killed running to these motherfuckers. When we already had master teachers that told us about our anatomy and what we should and shouldn't be eating. And we ignored that. For what?
No, we lined up for the motherfucking chicken sandwiches and was fighting and shit.
Exactly.
Wasn't the chicken sandwich outbreak was right before Rona kicked off? Where people was lining around the spot?
Yep.
They're killing each other over them things.
Yeah. Them rancid ass chickens.
I've never had one. I mean, it's just crazy.
They have to radiate.
Go ahead, sister.
I said tumor rancid stuff that they have to radiate the chicken, I heard. When you eat radiated meat.
It's horrible. It's horrible, sis. And then folks got the nerve to have a Facebook post going around with a video of somebody that bought a motherfucking pack of strawberries and put them in some water. I don't know what they added to the water, and some bugs was coming out of it, and they saying, ooh wee.
They supposed to come out of it. That's what hit them when they hit no grass. That's crazy.
Baby, let me tell you something. I said to my, you motherfuckers eat pigs, guts, and assholes. But you grossed out about some bugs that naturally come up out of the ground that eat the fruit. Because if the bugs is eating it, goddammit, that means it's natural. That's how backwards. That is how backwards and disconnected from nature people are. So no, you're absolutely right, and I'm not trying to criticize anybody on what you eat, how you eat it, and all of that jazz. But I am just making an observation and stating some facts of the hypocrisy.
That's crazy.
They was just eating chicken sandwiches before motherfucking Rona broke out. Literally. Fighting over this shit, over that tainted ass meat.
That's true. Killing each other for it, too.
Yeah. Immune systems are totally broken down. Filling their babies with that bullshit. So when something does come across, their immune system can't fight it. I'm sorry, go ahead, Brother Sean.
Yeah, and that was part of the reason for the lockdown. I mean, think of what people's diets must have consisted of, considering they closed down the natural food stores and vitamin shops, and instead of the other, they had the liquor stores, weed dispensaries, fast food deliveries out the gazoo. And made sure they shot people, some cheddar to be able to keep buying the bullshit.
Right. And Homo said that nobody should be prosecuted for killing anybody during this corona stuff. He said that. I said that means you killing them.
They already know. Look how many thousands of elderly died behind the order that he gave. So, I mean, he the last person that should be talking. He should just find him a couple of seats and shut all the way the fuck up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because them niggas in New York, them niggas in New York should be lynching his ass if they wasn't all eating off of it.
Yeah, they were guinea pigs in that hospital.
What I'm saying is, New York been running game since back in the ancestor days. Okay, them niggas been cutting deals. Them niggas been cutting deals for a long time now.
Yeah.
I mean, facts is what it is. Where they running Wall Street and all their business and bullshit come up out of. Come on.
Yep. True that.
Who was the head of the music, fashion, and music industry for a while? Come on, bring it back home. I mean, you can't deny what is. We keep trying to give motherfuckers a pass because they melanated. And people keep forgetting, conveniently, somehow keep forgetting that it was all melanated at one time and we still had all these wars and fuckery.
Exactly.
Ain't no passes.
No. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. Okay, I'm going to bring on Brother 832. Shout out to YouTube, all of the YouTube family. I see where I can't chat with y'all. It went down, so I'll try. If I'm not responding, that's why I'll have to figure that out.
So shout out to all of the YouTube family. All right, Brother 832, let me bring you on. Peace and love, Brother 832. Your line is open.
Rhonda, Sandra, my sisters from other vistas. Feathers up.
Feathers up, brother.
United States of America down. Sean, my brother from another mother, sitting on Mount Olympus, throwing them black lightning bolts down tonight in
Indeed,
rare form, bro.
Indeed, bro.
Hey, I'm gonna whip out the Archdog Chronicles, man, before I comment on that. Did any of y'all see, I think it was on MSNBC, a young sister named Kennedy Mitchum out of Missouri, the Show Me State, jumped on Merriam-Webster and shockingly, within 24 hours, got a response on correcting and, how shall I say this, authorizing the actual definition of racism to include systemic racism. Did any of y'all hear that news report? This is just in the last, 24, 48 hours.
To include what?
That going forward, a part of the definition of the word racism will include systematic and institutional oppression as a manner of, they feel that people go to dictionaries for understanding concepts, words, insights, and it would do a disservice if it was correct. I'm paraphrasing, but this is because the sister was actually, now I think about it too, it was, Ali Velshi, who ironically, and I just found this out recently, saying the actual Kenyan Muslims, that when y'all keep trying to accuse Barack Hussein Obama of birtherism, he says he's actually born in Kenya and raised a Muslim. But his name is Ali Velshi. He sat in on Rachel Maddow's show, if I'm not mistaken, it might have been last night or the night before. But he was interviewing this young 22-year-old who just got on email and challenged Merriam-Webster, and they are now making revisions going forward to include within the definition of racism the systematic and systemic oppression of so-called Black or African-American people, by the way. But, of course, they're going to be generic enough to say it references ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender, et cetera, et cetera. But that's first. Secondly, then that would be very interesting for us to continue along the path that Dane Calloway does for us by referencing the 1828 definition of America, because that should continue to be etched in stone, and it needs to become a part of our overall lexicon and consciousness. An American is only the copper-colored original inhabitants of this land. Secondly, has been adopted or co-opted or stolen by Europeans who have become native-born. I'm paraphrasing, but you know that definition of the American. Having said that, then into the context of what you shared from Trump card, I think, Sean, talking about jurisdiction. I've said this before in the past, and I will repeat. In the constitutional document, there are only two populations that are identified. We normally presume white, male, over 21, free, and landowning. That was the connotation of citizenship for the United States of America. The only other population identified in the Constitution are Indians, not taxed. When people keep presuming 3/5 all other persons, they don't seem to understand who that is talking about. And you will go on with our continuing discussion with, white trash, the untold history of class in America, the issue of indentured servitude, or slave. None of that is written in the Constitution. Involuntary servitude is not till the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, after the Civil War.
Right.
So slave is never referenced. African is never referenced. Only Indians not taxed. So there is only 2 identified populations in the so-called United States, or the Black 13 colonies, as our good sister has shared from Lee Cummings' research. Now, when we're talking jurisdiction, they have none. Never have. Everything we're doing is an action of delusion. Now, saying that, I want to segue to who's Siskel and who's Ebert. Let's do the Arthdal Chronicles episodes I binged off of this past week.
Come on.
My brother, what does the Wahan tribes mean to you? The Wahans, that was, I believe they referred to as the Sea of Tears, that hot, desolate place that they came over the what they call it, the Great Black Cliff.
Yep.
And then you had the Igutu. I know Sandra loves to throw the word Ijiji around, but I know it's not necessarily a direct reference. But Igutu is red blood plus blue blood equals purple blood, right?
Yes, sir.
The red bloods were the Sarams, S-A-R-A-M. The blue bloods was the Neanderthals, or you might want to think Neanderthals, but it's the Neanderthals. Those are the very superior, powerful group, clan, tribe, whatever you want to call it. And the mixing of those 2 bloods created the Igutu, or the purple blood. Now, these people, is this not is it Korean or a Japanese series?
Korean.
You know?
Korean.
Okay. So they have kind of that flat pan face like look, right? So are they a cross between the Japanese and the Chinese? This is kind of speculation on my part, but could that be perceived as the Igutu between the Japanese and the Chinese?
Yep.
Okay. So you had that son who was, I think his name is Tagon. Trying to become a king. And the epitome of it, And then he had Telha, who was the daughter of one of the tribe leaders who had the secret of making bronze, right?
Yep. And
then you have the Wahans, or the Wahan tribe, which is the ones that were matrilineal with the Great Mother that descended from the Great White Wolf, right?
And they were a water tribe.
Well, yeah, but they were more so thinking about looking at things, I want to say this is cosmologically, because the key point that's tying the 3 of these together, there were a pair of twins and the young woman who was going to become the new Great Mother. They were all 3 born within an hour on the same day with the Azure Comet, right?
Right.
And that comet passing over was supposed to be symbolic of a calamity. But they referred to them in their mythology as the sword, the bell, and the mirror, right? So the bell was the female who was actually the only bloodline direct descendant from the Great White Wolf, which they call Asa Sen, in the outer population. In other words, the people that lived in Arthdal and the Union, they were following these monks and these priests that were illegitimate, if I understand that correct, right? Did they say something about it? They had a broken bloodline?
Yeah.
But she came from the true bloodline lineage. And they had the original tablet, if you remember that tablet, the one that they faked and remade, they didn't know how to backside on it, right?
Right.
So she was not only representing the true matrilineal line from great mother to great mother, she also had certain, I don't want to say psychic ability, it's more like it's like mental telepathy, right? She didn't know she had the capacity of reading people's thoughts once she became centered and calming herself. But she could not dream originally, right? And the only ones who could dream was the Igutu. And that's because really they were twins, biological twins. So when they were dreaming, they were seeing through the other's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But they thought they were dreaming when they actually were seeing the other twins experiencing things in their different reality.
Mm.
So when they got pulled together, and that's where it just goes, I don't know if they're going to come back with a season 2, bro. I just finished binging it and got that last episode in. They brought him, the one that was the twin kept in the tower amongst the Union. These people were bloodthirsty, beheading folks, cutting folks down, would destroy their God concept, would say that if they didn't bow to whatever it was that they were going to say was the law, if you will, and I'm pointing this out as far as jurisdiction, they would wipe out families, cut off people's feet, because they said they would have to crawl even through death in eternity, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was just the concept of all the ideas that they were putting out in this. It's just, it's mind-boggling. But they say it with such revelry and self-expression of how barbaric they have always been.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when did this come out? What, like in the last year or two?
Yeah. I think it came out last year.
Okay. And all this is inside of South Korea, I presume, because they showed the very last film, you know, they kind of did the outtake showing the actual film crew and everything, and all the, you know, the people that are support staff, and all the cinematography, the CG graphics, and all that kind of stuff. But it's interesting how, what's the difference in this and anything that we've learned about, like, Shogun and samurai mythology? Not the kung fu movies that we love with Bruce Lee. I'm talking about the kind of like the feudal, medieval, if you will, type period of where they created what you would call, I guess, either serfdoms, lords, the controlling of, how did they create their society? They were really created out of primarily two war classes. Either you had the monarchy or some sort of royal bloodline, right? And then you had the warrior group, which gave you the shoguns, the ronin, and the samurai, right?
Exactly.
And there's a different variation of that same thing in Chinese, supposed ancient history. But the intriguing thing is to see this, if this is Korean. If I'm misreading, man, you know, give me something from your frame of reference on. I believe that the Koreans are seeing themselves as the Gutu.
Okay.
They had two competing god concepts. There was one called Iso Danyang and Adamun. That was
supposed to be Adamun Hasala on the flesh.
Right, but he was also a Gutu.
Right. But I mean, look at the name. Look at the Araman Hasala.
Amin Ra, like Amin Ra.
Yeah. And then Hasala Allah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he was supposedly sent from the underworld by Assassin, or the Great White Wolf.
Right.
You know. But all of the belief systems of the matrilineal one, which was totally overshadowed by the way the series proceeded, because they didn't really deal with natural concepts. They dealt with creating commerce, commercialization, forcing people off the land, taking them into tribal, you know, and slave raiding. They turned the tribes against, the one set of tribes called the Ago, or the Ago, A-G-O. And they had like 30 different clans, and they would pit them against each other, because that's what Tagon did. Tagon didn't assault them. He just said, hey, let's negotiate here. I'm going to turn you loose. You go back and do what the African slave traders did, the Nigerians, the West Coast African countries, down to Ghana, Mali, Songhai. They would war with each other and sell the so-called losers to these white marauding Barbary pirates that ended up transporting us over here like the white lion, you know, Rhonda, that Dane's pointing out. He's telling us the 1690 mythology, the white lion and the treasurer, or the treasurer. I forgot the name of the other ship. But anyway, those are two different Dutch and Spanish marauders that were fighting each other, and then they would take the booty, and that's what booty meant, is the capturing of the people, and turn him over. So now, having said all that, okay, now this criminal justice, so-called International Criminal Court that he pointed out, is now trying to, I think it was from the Iraq War, wasn't it, Sean, that they were making these claims and war crime violations. Who was that bastard he just recently got and pardoned, who was proven to be a war criminal? I'm talking about Trump now. Remember when they were kicking him and would take away the Navy Trident, and he forced him to give back his Trident, and he pardoned him, and his own squad testified against him being a horrific war criminal. He killed teenagers. Okay, I think that was in Iraq, wasn't it, Sean? I guess
dude, that ain't right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't get it. But I think he's singing like a bird. I mean, that's the only reason.
He might be one of the ones the International Criminal Court. If it's not him, I'm sure it's, we got plenty, to go around.
Yeah, I'm sure he's one of them. He would have to be. Ain't no way around that. I mean, he would have to be.
Yeah. And so,
but it's ISIS that's bringing the suit.
Oh, really? Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's ISIS that's trying to get them through the ICC.
How ironic, right?
Right.
So here again, we, like you were just saying, bro, we are going, and I'm a Navy veteran, so I mean, I was 17 at the time, so you're young, dumb, as the old man used to say, full of cum, that's how they get us out of high school, all right? Brainwash us, condition us to be Marines, Army, whatever, supposedly to protect and defend. And what people don't understand, it's the Constitution, not the people. See, what people don't seem to understand, when people swear an oath, they swear to protect and defend the Constitution, not the people.
That is right.
Now, again, as I've already said in the beginning, if you do not understand, there's only two populations identified in that document. So then who are you protecting and defending under that document? White, male, free, over 21, and landowner. Now, as you go on our continuing conversation about white trash, the mudfill, the crackers, the rednecks, everything else, etc., they don't own no land, right? Yeah, but they don't own no land, right? So then what is law enforcement, the military, any defense mechanism, arm of the corporate United States of America? What is it protecting and defending? Who does the police officer wear to protect and defend? Who does the officers of the court, using all this in reference? Yes, the International Criminal Court down to whatever you have, the local constabulary and the municipal court. What do all of these people have in common? They swear to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. Now, if only white men, free and landowning, are defined as the citizens of the United States, I don't care what you have been given the flavor of citizenship. That's what you're talking about. You got these naturalized people who have been here since the turn of 1900, right? That's when they started all the immigration push. But if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the first Immigration Act right after the census in 1790? I think it might have been 1791 or something like that. And you'll probably get into that eventually. But all of these people who have a flavor of citizenship, okay, they have a varying degree of what is authorized under that jurisdiction. For anybody else who calls themselves Negro, colored, black, African American, you are accepting the status of 3/5 all other persons, which is the definition of the property.
Right.
Meaning, how did you own land as a white man in the United States of America? You started by owning people, correct?
Right.
You only were able to own the land by owning the slaves to till the land. and you still don't own the land. Sean is very correct. I mean, there's no one that holds that. In that mythology of Arthdale Chronicles, they talked about the Ace of Sin or the Great White Wolf, the Mother Deity, whatever, went from the skies to the water, right, son? Now, son?
Yep.
And no one owned the land, right?
Yep.
Yep. That you make us, but we're not beneath you. What does that mean? You made us, but we're not beneath you. You have a people telling the folks on this land that they have been contracted. We won't get into the optics and the religiosity of their white gods all over the world, whether it's Yahweh, Jehovah, Allah, Krishna, Buddha. They all claim to have some variation of an edict that sent these marauding hordes of viral infestation all over the face of this earth and tell what to the people that they come in contact with. This ain't your shit. Now, ironically, on its face, is correct when no one can own mama, like Sean says every week. No one can own it. But you damn sure can't take claim to my shit that I inhabit, and you're from where? I don't care where from. You're not from here.
Right.
And that's what our problem is here. We keep going back and forth over this document, and I will keep stressing it because it's extremely important. Indians not taxed. Who the fuck is that, Rhonda? And to state it and declare it in the document, well, first of all, you already know who they described as the Indian. India didn't exist until 1950, so they damn sure weren't talking about them people.
Except for
Pope Paul. That name didn't get created through the British colonial invasion of Hindustan. So who were the Indians not taxed in the Constitution and the documents being fashioned in 1787 with the territories, the Northwest Ordinance, that's 1787. And 1789 is the actual selection of George Washington. So the Constitution didn't get created till the last decade of the 18th century. Who the fuck were the Indians not taxed?
Exactly.
And by that statement alone, they have no jurisdiction. They wrote in the founding document, they do not have authority over people who are not taxed. Now, taxes by definition is voluntary, is it not?
Yeah, that's okay.
So we are, and Sean is saying this, we are volunteering to hand our black asses over to these white overlords and be their property. So therefore, once you have done that, niggas, you can be under the knee 8 minutes and 46 seconds with my impassive white Caucasoid demonic look. Because that's what the fuck he looked like. He looked like, goddammit, Charles Manson. All right? Showing the world, literally on display worldwide. This is how we do our property.
That's easy for him. Yeah, you're right. Hand in his pocket.
And when this constitutional government, I'm using air quotes here because it is not government, it is a corporation. But we keep saying words like that, bestowing it honor. One of the last things she said right before, back on Arthdale Chronicles, Sean, the young lady who's now being made the high priestess, remember when she just pronounced them subjects? I don't know if you've seen the very last episode.
Yeah, I've seen it all the way through, exactly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
She said what? She said what? I cast a spell over all of Arthdale Union. Did she not? She was saying that in her mind. But that's what she said, Rhonda. When she pronounced them, they no longer called themselves by their tribal names. She said, when she was living as a young woman being trained, she said,
I ain't got that far yet. Damn.
I didn't want to spill it necessarily, but
that's okay. It's all good.
Early on, well, if you've seen enough where she called Usion, the young Igutu that she grew up with, when they were being separated, and she pronounced him to be the dream. She said, give me a name, give me something. She said, you are the dream of the Wahan, meaning he was going to come and save them. And that's when he got driven. She lamented or regretted later on when she got snatched up and taken to the Union, the Archdale Union, that she had put a spell on him. And he could do nothing but try to save them. And they tried. Yep. When she went along with the conspiracy of the overlord who was being coronated the queen, being coronated the king by her, because she was the spiritual high priestess and gave the God presence, if you will, for the people to believe in. He left it up to her to come up with a new name. She decided to call them subjects. And in her mind, she was trying to utilize pronouncing that was her base of power, her base of authority, because people received from her, from the mother essence, from the goddess, of calling them subjects. Now, of course, he thinks it's to him, the king, but in her mind, she's saying, this is my last leverage. By naming you, this particular word being subject, that you are subject to my authority. Now, is that what's different than that than being called an Indian? We already know we're being called a nigger. We already know we have been called property. Our ancestors was the first property in this corporate escapade, outlaw, criminal enterprise, the United States of America. We were made property. So when you go name a person, a human being, their entity, that is what you keep trying to explain to people about casting a spell on a person. You have taken their person, literally, their personhood away from them and made them an entity. Now, in wrapping up, we have talked about this repeatedly. United Nations Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People, the American Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People, the United Nations Human Rights Declaration. These are three simple pieces of things which, regardless if they're on paper, the state is how we have sovereignty over ourselves, which means we fall under no one's jurisdiction. No one.
Right.
But it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to believe it.
That's true.
And that's the whole dilemma that's going on. If we watch these people, and Sean is absolutely correct, this is no different than WWE SmackDown and the cage matches, brothers. We talk about.
Right.
Whatever barrier we need to have to put up and surround these people till they, whoever may be, the last man or woman standing, and then incarcerate their ass or ship them back just like the motherfuckers did on Pandora and Avatar. And I yield.
All right,
amen, bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
you know why he was talking? I have Pope Paul III, and in his words, the American Indians, he says the American Indians, that as long as we go by that title, they can't do nothing with us, but we take on all these other titles. And like she said, the priestess said, you know, in her last words, as she said, that you can't remember your name anymore. You get rid of yourself. And we need to get back to self, because they have no jurisdiction over us if we get back to self.
Indeed, sis. Indeed, sis. Indeed.
But sis, I told you that, I mean, they got it all in there. All we could do was skim over stuff, because depending upon what perspective of consciousness you have, you're going to find it there. I mean, I think it tells the whole story. It's just a matter of being able to see it.
Right.
To tell about the whole fall.
And it's interesting, and Brother Sean, folks are chopping it up in the YouTube chat room. that has seen it, and they're totally agreeing with you. I haven't gotten through it all because it's one that you have to pay attention to. So when I watch it, I want the time to be dedicated. So, all right. So with that said, thank you, brother 832. So YouTube,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
I switch back to my headphones. So if I'm getting choppy or it's fuckery going on, just hit me up, and then I'll switch back. Okay. Woo.
Oh, I want one more thing I want to say.
Go ahead, sis.
Oh, Queen that retired from reigning.
Yeah.
Her reign has ended.
That's
what they say on her biographer is saying about her now because of COVID. There's no COVID, but that's what they say.
So allegedly and supposedly, because it was something going around on YouTube last week. Okay, I'm back to echo. See, I can't win for losing. I'm about to go back to the phone, yeah.
I can kind of hear it without. Yeah.
Okay, so supposedly and allegedly on YouTube, it's a video going around saying that that palace, one of the crest was taken down on the gate, and the palace is boarded up. And so I was reading through the comments of the video, and some people said that supposedly that crest was being repaired, and the reason that the palace was boarded up was because they're not using that particular palace right now. So my whole thing to the matter is, first of all, they're not the rulers anyway. We know that.
Yep, that's true.
And then, second of all, who's supposedly and allegedly taking her place?
Yeah, that's another thing.
So it reminds me of the whole fuckery we heard when they were saying, y'all, General somebody, y'all know who I'm trying to say, when Prez O was in office, and supposedly General somebody or the other.
Schwarzkopf.
Yeah, some old bullshit was supposedly
Adam Schwarzkopf.
Yeah, so now this is just my take on it. I'm not interested in none of that fuck shit of her supposedly stepping down, none of that, because it ain't none of theirs to step down and claim anyway.
In the first place, exactly. And Windsor was around when Henry VII was the king over there. He's the one who built the darn thing. So where did they got the name from the stupid castle? From him. And he was melanated, not them.
Exactly. 1,000%.
But that still don't make it no better. I would.
Sorry. Go ahead, Brother Sean.
That still wouldn't make it no better. I wouldn't care if that bitch over there right now was melanated and doing the shit that she's doing.
I totally agree.
Well,
I 1,000% agree. I 1,000% agree. Rhonda, it's me, and the YouTube chat said there is also someone claiming that they are the rightful heir to that throne. Yeah, I heard that fuckery also. And bottom line is, we're not falling for any of the okie doke. So I don't care if you melanated and all of that. We are putting the pieces together very, very rapidly. And we get that the indigenous people around this planet, around Mother Earth, their land was stolen from them.
That's true.
So I'm not satisfied that they gonna put supposedly James Nim and Charles Nim bloodline back on the throne because it wasn't theirs to fucking take. And furthermore, none of this shit will stand. At the end of the day, none of it will stand. Because Mama Earth, in the words of Betty Wright, she's the cleanup woman, goddammit. And they just making it easy for her.
Yeah.
So they can go with the fuck shit, the covert operations in the truth of community. I see through all that bullshit. I'm not interested. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brother Sean.
And for all these melanated warriors and patriots, part of your charge was guardians of Mama. You're supposed to have been a warrior for her first.
That's right. That's right.
But you got all this honor and pride of defending the corporation that's exploiting you and your mama.
Exactly.
Yep.
When the fuck y'all gonna fight for your mama?
Exactly. You disrespectful motherfuckers.
I mean, we at war. And you motherfuckers taking your time and energy to loot and take shit. You're not riding to get rid of shit. You riding to have something for a few minutes.
Right.
And then some of y'all got the nerves to have pride and honor and want to be remembered and thought of as heroes. I mean, those corporate citizens, those people that are of the bloodline is subservient to the corporation. You're doing what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But I'm talking about to the melanated conscious, so-called conscious.
So-called conscious, exactly. The 4% motherfuckers.
Where's all your magic and shit to fight for mama? Where's all that dark chaos magic to make some shit happen? Other than get motherfuckers to hit up your PayPal or Patreon. Y'all say we at war. But y'all seem to be celebrating. Y'all niggas eating good. I ain't mad at you. But you niggas eating good and be fresh to death on your video. Y'all motherfuckers have on outfits that motherfuckers can eat off of for a month.
Right. So fresh and so clean.
Yeah. I'm just saying, we are responsible for all of this shit. All of it.
That's right.
It happened during our watch.
That's right.
This bullshit that's going on right now is on our watch. We can keep saying what the ancestors did or didn't do. What the fuck are you doing right now? Right now.
That's
not what you're thinking about. Not what you're waiting for Trump to do. Not waiting on the Sarah. Not waiting on Jesus, Buddha, Maitreya, whoever the fuck you waiting on, the Space Fleet, the Galactic Federation. I mean, spiritual matters have already been taken care of.
Right.
As far as for balance, as far as for my act, what are you doing as far as for your physical responsibilities while the manifestation of the spiritual takes place? If you fuck up in the physical,
Yep.
While the spiritual is coming. You repeat, motherfucker. You didn't stay here to complete the job.
Tell it.
I don't give a fuck what you knew or what you know. What did you do? I digress.
Indeed. Indeed, Brother Sean. All right, family. Here's my go ahead on with the fuckery. This is in partnership. I call him Brother J because I'm so country, I'm always messing up his name. Sis Sandra, your son, Brother J, sending me this picture of Pelosi's motherfucking stinking ass.
She look good on that one too.
Yeah, goddammit. Let me get on her stinking ass. Oh, raw. We gonna bring up this picture. YouTube, y'all should be seeing this motherfucking pictures. Funk ass. With them, quote, quote, kneeling.
Yes.
So Brother Jay sent this to a sister, and he was like, look at the background. So immediately, I sees the brother with the gold on. I immediately said to myself, that seems like an American Indian. I got to research who's the hell that is. And then who's that right next to him on the right-hand side? So here we go. Got to get to my little notes. And that's in the Capitol, by the way, family, where they funk ass is kneeling, pulling a ritual right before your eyes, okay? So the king, or the chief rather, in the gold is really, and I don't feel like botching the man's little name, y'all. He was really the ruler over Hawaii. And dude's name,
Chief Kamehameha.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Sean. Chief Kamehameha. So, trying now, I can't, of course, I can't. Oh, here it is, my fault. I was going to blame it on the little notes. So, let's bring up his stuff on with Wikipedia. So, hold on, y'all. Let's switch to looking at the stuff live. YouTube family. All right, it should be coming up on your screen shortly. Let's see if I can make this better for y'all. Try to do the best I can, family. Okay, YouTube, it's finished. You should be seeing it. I'm on Wikipedia. Moving the picture around. Y'all see how he looked, right? You see what Chief Kamehameha looks like, right? Melanated man. With hair, with woolly hair. All right, so let's get to reading his little stuff. All right, maybe let me see if I could make this so y'all can see it. YouTube. Okay, that's going to be better for you. All right, here we go. Kamehameha. They're saying born around, they think in 1736, to live till 1819. All right. Also known as Kamehameha the Great, was the founder and first ruler of the Kingdom of Hawaii. A statue of him was given to the National Statuary Hall collection. Okay, and if you hover the picture over that, you'll see the little statue. In Washington, D.C., by the state of Hawaii, as one of two statues, it is entitled to him. Entitled to give, rather. So they are saying that Kamehameha was born to Kiki Apoa, the niece of Alapainu, the usurping ruler of Hawaii Island, who had killed the two legitimate heirs during the Civil War. Did y'all catch that? So during the Civil War, the legitimate heirs were killed? Oh, okay then. By most accounts, he was born in, I know, Keu, I'm botching this, y'all, so just bear with me, Kahola, Hawaii. His father was Kiowa. However, native Hawaiian historian Samuel states that Maui monarch Kahiki II had Hainu adopted, traditional and formal adoption, Kamehameha at birth, as was the custom at the time. Believes this is why Kahiki is often referred to as his father. The author also tells of how Kami, whatever that name is, one of the royal twins and father of Hopai. All right, so basically, I'm not going to read through this shit because it's painful. Basically, it's really painful, just with not only just the pronunciation, but just the fuckery around the whole lineage.
Well, it just verifies that it's happened to indigenous people all over the planet.
Exactly.
The same script.
It's the same fucking script. The same script. And I just found it fascinating that they said, where did they say? Oh, that it was usurping. And the two legitimate heirs were killed during the Civil War. So all this other fuck shit of going into the lineage, oh, I think he was adopted, there was a twin, blah, 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 let's that elemental P, it's a moot point. Because they already told us what the fuck done happened. Like it always happens. So, all right, we're not going to, I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
Well, we could also look at it from the aspect that they could be saying that to delegitimize their claim to the throne, because that name,
that's true.
Because that name Kamehameha, it's also used in the Japanese anime Dragon Ball Z, but they call it Kamehame. It's actually one of Goku's most powerful moves.
Interesting.
And before he say it, he invokes that name, Kamehameha. So
wow.
It might be to delegitimize them, because I know it's the invocation of that name creates a great, powerful energy ball. And
wow, that's interesting.
And it's called a Kamehameha wave. Of all things coming from the island people.
All right. I was trying to find out. I'm trying to get to the part where it is talking about how he united the kingdoms. Where the hell is it? Yeah. They're talking about prophecy, high priestess. Hold on, family. Nope, that's not it. Okay, I might have to go to the next one, so bear with me. Hold on a sec. It might be in the history of Hawaii. Okay, all right. So we're going to go to the history of Hawaii. Describes the era of human settlement in the Hawaiian Islands. That history began sometimes between 124 and 1120 AD when the islands were first settled by the Polynesians. Now, this is what Wikipedia is claiming. Hawaiian civilization was isolated from the rest of the world for at least 500 years. Now, this is where the fuckery come into play, y'all. Because something ain't adding up. European, led by British explorer James Cook, arrived in the Hawaiian Islands in 1778. Okay, so we just read in the other one that they supposedly killed off the legitimate heirs during the Civil War. All right, so, however, some researchers state the Spanish captain Lopez was the first European to see the island in 1542. Within 5 years after Cook's arrival, European military technologies helped Kamehameha conquer and unify the islands for the first time, establishing the Kingdom of Hawaii. Now let me pause. If he was the ruler of Hawaii, what was he conquering?
Yeah.
Or am I missing something?
Not at all.
And why did he have to wait until Cook got there?
Exactly. Well, they said that Cook gave him pretty much the motherfucking manpower.
In other words, guns.
Yeah, because they're going to be slick about it up to talking about some military technology. Goddamn it, what technology?
The Gatling.
1778.
Cook is a pilot, though, right?
Yeah, Cook is Captain Cook. Yeah, with the Gatling guns.
Yeah, so in other words, more.
So it goes, okay, so anyhow, conquer, and I'm sorry, go ahead, Brother Sean.
I'm just thinking he had to be a Moor because wasn't the Moors ruling the seas?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Barbary Coast.
Now, when you look at this picture of him, wait a minute, y'all. I'm switching back YouTube. I'm trying to see when y'all gonna catch up to it because it's a little delay. When you look at the picture of Kamehameha on Wikipedia of him being older, he's not dressed in Indigenous get-up. He's dressed as a European here.
Using another one as front.
Depicts him in Indigenous get-up. All right.
Looks like European nobility wear to me.
Exactly. That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like a European nobility, absolutely. And I forgot which one. I think the red represents Scotland, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. But anyhow, okay. So So within 5 years after Cook's arrival, European military technology helped Kamehameha conquer and unify the islands for the first time, establishing the Kingdom of Hawaii.
Run by the way, man.
Yeah, she rides the Kamehameha wave now.
So that means all
wave.
those Hawaiian islands, he pretty much took over them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The kingdom was prosperous and important for its agricultural and strategic location in the Pacific. American immigration began almost immediately after Cook's arrival, led by the Protestant missionaries. So, let me sip my water. Whom was a Protestant?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what
and people hollering Baptist in his version of the Bible, and he was what?
King James was a Protestant. He fought with the Catholics because he went down with their religion.
Hey, did you know there were several King Jameses?
Oh, of course, absolutely.
And King James II was the one who did all that. And that's on the Bill of Rights.
Mm-hmm. There's a King James in L.A. that's changing all type of shit, too.
So which one?
Right. I caught that, Brother Sean. Right. Okay, so now the Protestants brings their ass over there. Immediately after Cook's arrival, Americans set up plantations to grow sugar. Didn't they do the same things in what we're calling the Caribbean today, which was really still
and Australia too.
The Americas, it was just our islands.
Australia too.
Yes. Their methods of plantation farming required substantial labor. Sounds familiar to me. Waves of permanent immigrants came from Japan, China, and the Philippines to work in the fields. Hold up, wait a minute. All right, you Hawaiians, I don't know if you know this information. So if you looking like you Asian, up in the eyes and all that type of jazz, makes me laugh.
Mongolian.
Right. That means you're not indigenous to the land.
Mongolian.
And you're the descendants of slaves.
Exactly. And if you want to say indentured servants, all right, that's cool. Roll with it how you want to roll with it. Rock with it how you want to rock with it. So specifically, your folks didn't start coming over to Hawaii, 1778, 79, 88, 1, 2, 3. So 1783-ish. So that means prior to you, there was indigenous people to that land who once again had their shit taken.
Yep.
So that is the difference between, they call folks native Hawaiians and indigenous Hawaiians. Native, you came after the fact. This applies to you, Americans. This applies to your motherfucking ass, too. That means you came after the fact. Your folks came over on some type of contract for labor. All right? So now if you come, well, you know, my people have melanin in their blood. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You got melanin in your blood because it was somebody put in the comments, swirling going on. So, meaning it could have been Filipinos, indigenous Filipinos that were melanated coming over, swirling, or already mixed coming over, swirling with the indigenous. Okay? But let's be clear on whom is who and who is indigenous and who's not. So I'm just going to read this again to make it quite clear. American immigration began almost immediately after Cook's arrival, led by Protestant missionaries. Americans set up plantations to grow sugar. Their methods of plantation farming required substantial labor. Waves of permanent immigrants came from Japan, China, and the Philippines to work in the fields. The government of Japan organized and gave special protection to its people, who comprised about 25% of the Hawaiian population by 1896. The native population succumbed to disease brought by Europeans, particularly smallpox, declining from 300,000 in the 1770s to over 60,000 in the 1850s to 24,000 in the 1920s. Now, this is just moi. I don't believe this fucking smallpox story. They were either reclassified or moved the fuck up on out of there, because they get that same smallpox story over in America for millions and millions of indigenous Indians that they're calling now Native Americans. So I personally ain't buying that, because it's the same script they follow. They're fucking consistent with that. Americans within the kingdom government rewrote the Constitution, severely curtailing the power of King David Kalakaua and disenfranchising the rights of most Native Hawaiians and Asian citizens to vote through excessively high property and income requirements. So, in other words,
famous Georgia and all of them.
Exactly.
You were nothing unless you owned the land, right? So that gave them an incentive to cheat, kill, and steal.
Exactly. So it's the same script. They came over, took the stuff from the indigenous people, talking about they unified it, started bringing over cheap labor, I'm assuming on indentured servant contracts, and then now all of a sudden, even the people that they had originally set the shit up, they didn't beat them out of anything that they thought they were going to get. All right, so this gave me, I'm sorry, sis, go ahead.
And that just goes to show you the power of that paperwork. Yep. And once you get people to voluntarily keep that paperwork alive, because from a natural perspective, okay, he said he owned this. You just simply wait till he died, and then it's free land again.
Yep.
But because of this piece of paper and him saying that his heir is supposed to have it, but you can watch over this stuff and protect it to make sure my heirs get what's due to them. They continue to have it because people voluntarily go along with the spell of that paperwork.
Yep. Absolutely.
You've never been able to own anything, own the land anyway. Our ancestors knew that because they knew that this body perishes and returns back to mama, where it came from. So that whole concept is just another spell, and our people still go along with it. But even instead of invoking that, all people seem to want is that fiat money.
Yes.
I don't see anybody talking about the land.
Nope. No, they don't.
You know, they'd say free buckwheat who shot 15 niggas in the hood.
Right.
But you not telling motherfuckers to free your mama?
Exactly.
Everything we get from her is free, or used to be, until we decided to consent to a game where other people said they own shit.
Yes.
I mean, niggas want to riot and fight and possibly be killed over a nigga who we don't even know if he dead. Some people say he died 3 years ago, his lawyer.
Right.
Said he died 3 years ago in Texas or something. This, that, and the other, and calling everybody fools for going along with it. And I'm even going to throw Trump and the Q community and the Patriots all in with it for expressing condolences and this, that, and the other. If y'all on top of everything and knew the script, this, that, and the other, why even let this fucking hoax play out if this motherfucker ain't dead? Or he already dead?
Right.
That's contributing to all this bullshit. Whether or not it's to expose what's really going on, which everything is being exposed one way or another. I don't care who try and take credit for it. It was going to happen at this time anyway, regardless to the characters that are put in place. It was going to happen. Having said that, it's all by consent, which it keeps boiling down to. Because as powerful as we are in the flesh, I ain't even talking about on no God shit, I'm talking about on some human shit.
Right.
As powerful as we are, we looking like a bunch of bitches right about now in this game.
Yeah.
We begging for power. We're not taking power. In the duality of this war, from a physical aspect, we ain't taking shit but an ass whooping. Only time niggas kicking ass is when they kicking each other ass. And you got some dumb motherfucker in the back hollering world stuff. Or watching some brothers beat up on the sister.
Exactly.
Or sit up and watch the man beat down the sister.
Right.
But y'all tough. Y'all thugs. Y'all in all these gangs, this, that, and the other. Y'all bang for yours.
Right.
I mean, back in the day, remember when they had that Put My Dead Homie song, you know, when the Crips and Blood thing was going on, Pyru Love and all that, you know, they were supposed to be getting past the gangbanging shit and this, that, and the other.
Right.
See, all that bullshit already has been addressed in our community.
Yep.
And people accept that as the norm.
Yes.
Why? because of that shit that was going on before there was a pale motherfucker here. We was at war with each other before they happened to come along. We never took care of ancient disputes. That's why the shit is still going on now. And they are just a vessel, a manifestation of the war that we've inflicted on each other. The Moors claim to have created them and given them the knowledge that they have and put them in rulership while they slept.
Yep.
Only to return the kingdom to them. So they never had any intention on giving anything back or ending the war against the indigenous people.
Nope.
They still want an empire.
Yep. Yep.
But all y'all can see is the white man, who's just a speck in this game.
Just a speck.
Just a curveball.
Yep.
The real war is melanin on melanin, whether y'all want to accept that or not.
That's right.
And the biggest war that they've got you to fight was against yourself. Was against your queen, against your mama. The very natural essence of self they've got you to hate because now you emulate everything and everyone else.
Yep.
You forgot your first contract, which is to your bloodline, not to no nation, not to some location.
Yep.
Your bloodline.
Exactly.
That's what got you here. That is the very foundation and source of your information and who and what you are. And you forsake that for every creation that we've made or allowed to be made.
Yeah.
I digress.
Indeed. Indeed, brother. Indeed, indeed, indeed. And just to add on that, and the game that people not seeing because they too busy being on the motherfucking chessboard instead of being above the chessboard, seeing the moves play out, is that because folk so fixated on the quote-quote white man, they had to turn around and they are forcing the return of the power to the melanated. This is literally what you're witnessing. They're forcing the return of the power to the melanated because they enter and they overstand the energies. And they know that a melanated person has to continue it. That's what people not seeing. But oh, goddamn it, us 1%, we see it. We see it. And we enter and overstand it ain't about your complexion. It's about your bloodline. And your light code, your vibration light code. And we see you. We see you. And it's not going to happen. You're not going to get the chance to repeat that cycle. Now, you can take that shit to another realm if mama allows you out of that, out of here to take it to the realm, because I done took and told y'all. She is the cleanup woman. She has the final say. So ain't nobody got time to go back and forth with you niggas in another motherfucking cycle. Not gonna happen. You will not cipher off of our bloodline, i.e. light code, i.e. energy, no more. Motherfucker, if you can't create the proper energy yourself to stay in the realm, you ass out. I can't help you, bruh. And don't nobody have to believe us, none of that. Stand your ass outside and tell that shit to the plasma. Tell that shit to the motherfucking comments. Because I personally don't want to hear it. Yes, Cheryl said that's the main reason there will be no uniting. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because where we fucked up in the beginning was calling ourselves uniting by cutting deals, commerce deals, and we went against natural law. We went against Mother Earth. And the real fucked up part about it, not only that we went against Mother Earth, but men went against the motherfucking matriarch. So out the gate, when we call ourselves uniting with that particular kingdom, we were in violation. That's why it is important to, first of all, know thyself. Know who your people are. Clean up your own self spiritually. Clean up your bloodline. Break the curses. Break the spells. It comes from within. All right. So.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Brother Sean.
I mean, to me, the time to have just banged all out was when it was happening. Shouldn't have been no cutting, no deals. They didn't know how to survive over here.
Agreed.
And they didn't have enough manpower to kill all of us anyway.
Sure did. Nope.
So they used tribal wars, got motherfuckers to continue their wars against each other and escalate things.
Yep.
Instead of everybody just coming together for a few minutes and like, hold up, we can put our beef on hold for a few minutes. Let's get these motherfuckers up out of here. Can't get back to our shit. No motherfuckers wanted to cut deals. And now everything fucked up for everybody. But I look at how, how even during all this, we still had Black Wall Street, this, that, and the other. We still had all this wealth. And let these motherfuckers gradually come in with their conquests.
Yep.
And take everything.
And take the
We
shit.
let them do it.
Yep.
And then sit up and play victim.
Yep.
But then again, you have to think about how much of this rah-rah war shit is actually true. With all the new construction and everything that they're doing, why ain't more war relics been found?
That's a great point.
I mean, or if they are, they keeping it a secret, but in this day and age, they can't keep much of nothing a secret.
No, not the way the mud flood community busting this shit out. So, yeah, I agree with you on that.
I mean,
that's why I'm sorry, go ahead, Brother Sean.
That's why they got a psychological war going on with us now.
Absolutely. Yep.
The most damage is being done in people's minds.
Yes.
And the most violence has recently taken place during these riots where more innocent people have been killed than police or anybody that the hatred is supposed to be directed at.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just all about that fear and confusion.
Right.
And people still fear to be who they are.
I agree.
I mean, that's going back to when the old folks wouldn't tell us who we was because they told them if you said you was Indians, you would get killed, this, that, or the other.
Right. Right.
But considering none of that terminology, none of those names, labels, anything that was ancestrally done actually saved us from anything. Some things we just have to let go of. Knowing who you are is knowing what you're capable of. We're creators. This ain't our system anyway. What's the problem with letting it go and all the names and labels that are associated with it?
That's right.
Because none of us actively remember any of these names that we sit up and claim. It's still from a written history of theirs.
Right.
This is what they wrote down.
Right.
It may or may not be accurate. Either way, it's not empowering us. And because we say that we're this or that, ain't making them give shit back. They took it when those names were in existence.
Right. Very good point.
It's what you, as a guardian of Mama, as an indigenous being with all these powers and capabilities, are going to do about it.
Indeed.
Fuck what you know. What you gonna do, nigga? I'm all up in your grill. What the fuck you gonna do now, nigga?
Right.
You know what that feel like when the block bully was up in your face?
Right.
Nigga, what you got in your pocket? Give me that. Give me them Jordans too, nigga.
Right. Debo in they ass.
What that for Mama?
Exactly. It's disrespectful. It's very, very disrespectful. And then folk wonder why they keep getting their asses handed to them over and over and over again. So now she's gaining her strength back stronger and stronger, and she's finna clean motherfucking house. And folks still sleeping, thinking that they have a right to run some shit out of order and against her. They disrespectful as fuck, and they don't belong to be here. And I don't give a fuck who you are.
So, this is a front they do in here, like Captain Cook, bowing to a melanated king, huh? So they can pretend like they down with the okie doke and Black Lives Matter. If Black Lives Matter means you're dead anyway. You're civil alias matus. So they already saying you're dead, so they still going to stay in power because of the laws they put on the books. All that stuff got to be changed, and our people are going to have to step up and start saying they are who they are and not black, not African American, not colored. I always ask, what color are we? And not Negroes and all that kind of stuff. Because otherwise they're going to playing that game with you, that they're on your side. And this is all this marching and all this stuff is about. It's just a false front. They're pretending.
Indeed. And I just want to add to it. Let me bring back up the motherfucking picture right quick, y'all. Let me bring it back up. Hold on a sec. Let me bring it up to be clear on this shit. This was the purpose of me and Jay chopping it up and decoding this, because make no mistake about it, this was a ritual played out. This was a ritual. This orange that old girl got on, orange represents the Masonic order. Okay? The kente cloth, now Jay say that it kind of reminds him of the indigenous multicolored corn. To me, that's just their fuckery saying, we got these niggas believing that they're African. But in the back, these two, this Hawaiian king cooperated for them to take over the kingdom of Hawaii. Guess who this one is? The one right next to him. That's Frederick Douglass. So make no mistake about it, family. This was a ritual. They are telling you that the return of power will be to melanated. But here's the catch. They still want that power within the two behind. So meaning, although it's returning to melanated, it's still going to be the same melanated kingdom running stuff, putting their folks in there to run it. I am telling you, this is what they are trying to pull off. So Caucasians have been put on notice that their sense of white supremacy, that shit is over with. So this whole thing with Floyd, it was all a ritual to change of the guards from the Caucasians ruling back over to the melanation rule. Because I've been telling y'all for years, it started with melanated, it's going to end with melanated.
Meghan Markle was the precursor.
What you say, Brother Sean?
Meghan Markle was the precursor to that.
Yes, absolutely, Brother Sean. Yes, Meghan was the precursor. They were telling you motherfuckers then. We told y'all back then what it was. And I said back then, I don't give a fuck who she is. We ain't authorizing her to speak on behalf of the indigenous. So I don't give a fuck about none of that.
And
so
she
this
had
is the same thing. I'm sorry, go ahead, sis.
And she had that Band-Aid around her finger of sacrifice, they say. You know, once you get down with the crazy stuff with the children and stuff,
right.
She had that.
Yeah, I said get down with the get down. Yeah.
Get down with the get down. So she done tainted herself already. She can't do that. And be there's people before her anyway. That ain't right.
Here's the key. What melanated people have to know. This is why I keep stressing. You have to know who you are and who your bloodline is.
Yeah.
She is part of the bloodline that stole Indigenous people shit. So she don't fucking represent me. I don't give a fuck what color she is. She does not represent me. That's the bottom line. So she can do what the fuck she wants to herself. That's her motherfucking business. But as it regards to the land, to Mother Earth, no, you don't fucking have the right to rule over her nor the people. So this whole farce of the kneeling was nothing but a ritual to put folks on notice. We're at this point, the power is being changed from Caucasians to melanated. The two statues behind represent those same Roman Babylon kingdoms. But the difference is, because all they're trying to do, family, is to repeat the same fucked up cycle. That's all they're trying to do. They are literally trying to repeat the same fucked up cycle. We keep telling y'all everything happens on the spiritual realm first. So we are in the Aquarian age. Meaning, and to top it off, we're literally in a pole shift. So the energies are changing. We're moving at a higher vibration. So they knew that power had to shift back to the melanated, because the melanated can sustain that UV gamma radiation. All right? Caucasians, this is one of the reasons why your birth rates are in the negative. Okay? Has a lot to do with the cycles. Okay? And your genetics. So it would not even be possible for Caucasians to keep ruling because their birth rates can't even keep up. But the difference this time with this cycle changing is that Mother Earth will make the final call. But it's up to other folk. You got a decision to make. Do you want to continue with the same system with melanated folk? I'm consistent on what the fuck I say. If that's what you want to experience, to be melanated and see melanated people rule, go for it, boo-boo. But just enter and understand what you're getting into. You just repeating a fucking cycle that we done already motherfucking been there and done that. And or are you going to go to the higher realm and leave all of that behind? So meaning the concept, the system, the illusion of monetary systems, politics, all of that shit, it's gone. It's not real. It's not natural. It's a man-made construct. It's against nature. So again, make no mistake, this is what the kneeling was about. It was a ritual. It symbolizes the changing of the guard from the Caucasian rulership back to the melanated rulership. So melanated people, this is why I tell you, you have to get your shit in order, because you have some heavy decisions to make. And you should not be making those decisions based on what anybody else fucking say. And especially what the media says. And even if you are in that 5% that know all of this information, you still need to do some heavy, heavy soul searching within yourself. to really get a grip on what you want to do. Because even that 5%, you have a decision to make. You want to rule and ball out and be like Dude in the Gold or Douglas and them, working for the corporation, being the kings and them boys and them, that chance to rule, to basically repeat another cycle, 26,000 years and some change? Or are you who most of you claim you are, you gods, and you can elevate this, that, and the third? You got a decision to make too. All right. So that is that. Just real quick, let me go back to just reading the last bit of the Hawaii thingamajig. Okay, so this queen attempted to restore the royal powers in 1893, but was placed under house arrest by businessmen with help from the U.S. military. Against the Queen's wishes, the Republic of Hawaii was formed for a short time. This government agreed on behalf of Hawaii to join the U.S. in 1898 as the territory of Hawaii. In 1959, the islands became the state of Hawaii of the United States. And there's some people that's still disputing to this day that Hawaii never agreed to that fuck shit.
Mm-hmm. And I think he had married an Indigenous woman. That was where the real power of his claim came through.
Which would make sense. But again,
that's why they just said in the article the Queen had disputed.
Yes. So if she was Indigenous, she had the right to this dispute, and that would follow the formula of the men taking the woman's shit as usual, marrying her to take her shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that makes them exactly. It's the same script. Absolutely. So I want to, before we get back into white trash, I want to play a video. So if the volume is low for you on YouTube, you're gonna have to turn your little personal volume up. Since I'm getting an echo on the little microphone, I'm gonna be playing this video via my phone. So I again highly encourage the family to check out this brother's channel called New Earth Production. This video is called Embrace the Shift. So hold on, let me get this queued on up. Of course, they got to play a commercial. YouTube's funky ass. Playing commercials, but ain't paying the content people. So hold on, family.
Bang, bang. What up, fam? Source God. Hey, yo, fam. The harsh lesson we're learning right now is that we do not need these vampire controllers anymore. Like, we never needed them. But right now it's becoming, like, brutally, like, plain. Like, you can't hide from it right now. It's brutally honest. It's like, I mean, what benefit have we gotten from these so-called governments? Well, you know, what it means to govern the mind, you know, to rule the mind of the people and hypnotize minds. Fam, this whole fucking time, they've been like the, how do you call it, like the puppet masters, you know, keeping us like the minstrels, like they're waving the magic wand, keeping us in their spell, you know, and they use vanity, they use our needs against us, because there's certain things that we need to survive in society in the world. You know, we need things. We need homes. We need to have our electricity. We need certain things to function, you know, as we were in that three-dimensional existence. But they use it against us. It was almost like crack. It's like you have to stay on the hamster wheel, because if you don't, you'll end up under a bridge somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? But in reality, all those things were free resources. They're all open and free to us. The earth provided us with that shit. Who gave them the right to dictate to us, you know, what you know we can or can't have, or who gave them the right to put value on water, or value on the air, value on the sky? Like, who gave them that right? Where did they get that from? Who handed them that right? You know what I'm saying? And no one did, family. They took it and just forced us to comply with their bullshit, you know what I'm saying, doctrine or policy, whatever you want to call it. But for the longest time, their policy seemed like it made sense to people, because somehow, you know, they tricked people into thinking they were getting something out of that bullshit delusion. But now we can all see that we got nothing out of it. At the end of the day, we're all just fucked. So that this is a harsh lesson. It's up to I and I to govern ourselves, family. We don't need these rulers. We don't need them. We are sovereign. How would you say? Yes, sovereign beings. We can guide ourselves, family, in this dispensation. No more of this bullshit. You feel me? No more being led like sheep. We do not need shepherds. There's certain things they threw up in the BIBLE to trick us. You feel me? That's why you gotta pick sense from nonsense and know the codes. We don't need fucking shepherds. We're not sheep, and our children aren't kids. You dig? And yeah, fam. I mean, it's a real serious thing. We need to wake up from this dream. You know, it seems like, because in reality, what it is, family, is we're having a dream that we can't control, and we agreed to it for the fun of it, for the adventure. But certain ones took it too far and took advantage of us in this. You know what I mean? And like I said, now we're waking up from that, and we're putting all that shit aside. Now there's no more of that anymore. Now it's time for us to design our dream world, our paradise, our heaven, our matrix, our womb. Make shit right. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. Change is never easy, but it is what it is. It's inevitable. And that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing change, inevitable change. So embrace it, family. Change with it, adapt or die. You feel me? One love from Source God. I'm out. Bang, bang. Yeah, man.
All right, family. So that was from New Earth, the YouTube channel, New Earth Production. And the name of that video is Embrace the Shift. All right. So let me go on to the material. Brother 832, I'm not sure. Did you come back in the queue? I think you did. I'm not sure if you did, brother. I'll open up your line, 832, excuse me. And if you didn't come back in the queue, I will take you off. So here we go. Not sure if you came back. It popped back up with you coming back in the queue. All right, brother, your line is open. Did you have to put something else on it, brother?
My sister from another mister. If you're going to the book, I tried to go to Amazon, and they were white and they were slaves were no longer available. But I went ahead and ordered it. Well, at least what they said. I think they had a Kindle version, but you couldn't get it in hard copy.
Did
and I found another one. I don't know, because they have this other book series. Have you heard of the Lindemans Classics?
No.
think that's what it was referred to. Venomous Class. There was another book that talked. I can't think of the title right now. I wish I still had my receipt in front of me, because I know you know about white cargo. They did have white cargo.
Yeah.
They had this other book that was more detailed about indentured servitude in the Virginia colonies. So I decided to order that one. It was also a republished process of books they call classics that presumably, when they are redone, they are done in their original form, even though they're republished. Yeah. Not like what, Amazon kind of packages. You've seen how they've done some of our books like Stolen Legacy or Miseducation of Negro.
Yeah.
They republish it, but they reprint it. I'm going to say they reprint it, and they kind of do a contemporary whitewash.
Yeah. Exactly. It's not the original. Yep.
But something about, and I'll see when I get this book, because I just ordered it yesterday. I forgot the title of it, but it's one that goes in specifics about the actual process of indentured servitude in the beginning of Virginia colony. Now, something else that Sandra had said, and I agree with her, the notion she talked about the crest being pulled down. I think it was Windsor Castle, which is referring to, because the Queen, her actual habitation is Buckingham Palace. But the Windsor Castle, I believe, is one of the properties that they took the crest off of. But the approach from the conspiracy theorist community, did you know, they claimed that the Pope granted her freedom back in, I believe it was April 2019.
Oh, that's right.
You have a grip on that? And that during the summer last year, when June, I forgot the date, when Trump went over there, and they love to go into the symbolism of how Melania's outfit and Camilla Parker Bowles wearing all white, which symbolized the white flag of surrender, etc. But anyway, they claim, again, and amongst themselves, this is them talking to themselves in their quarter, in the conspiracy, the QAnon community and all that crap they have over there, that she surrendered a allodial title to Trump by disbanding the Virginia company. Were you familiar with that?
No, I didn't hear that one. This is according to Q Elemental E now.
Yeah, I heard about this.
You heard about that, Sean? The Virginia company, and if I'm not mistaken, Plymouth company, right, which gave us the Massachusetts Bay Colony, right?
Yep.
So, presumably, Pope Francis released her in April. She turned around and handed over to Trump in June, a year ago. This was last time. And then supposedly did some symbolic photo op of placing, well, first, she's always in the middle between whoever the head of state is and their spouse on either side flanking her, that she supposedly then, at her direction, had Trump move to the middle position underneath the crest. Now, I don't know if this is the same crest that Sandra's referring to. So the crest of Windsor is the created title from, was it not King George? Was it the first or King George III? Because if I'm not mistaken, the George in question over the colonial rebellion was George III, wasn't it, Sean?
It was George III. Yeah, the castle was by Henry VII, I think it was. He's the one who.
So not Henry VIII I am, Henry VIII I am.
No, not Henry VIII. He was kind of wacky a little bit. Henry VII.
Before Henry VIII, who with Anne Boleyn gave birth to the first queen, so-called Virgin Elizabeth, who was Virgin at Elizabeth. War. Well, they called her the Virgin Queen, because she had no heirs. But did any of you see the TBS special about the Queen's Secret Service? Because that's something else I saw this past week, where it talked about the Cecils, William Cecil and Robert Cecil, that created the spy network for over 50 years during the majority of Elizabeth's reign, where the father, William Cecil, set up the execution of Mary Queen of Scots. Were you hip to that, Sean?
No, I wasn't hip to that.
Well, Queen's Secret Service. This is a PBS special. It ran through the 40-year reign of Elizabeth I. She was the daughter of Anne Boleyn and Henry VIII, who, if I'm not mistaken, he also decapitated Anne Boleyn. And that her lineage, because of not having heir, that's why it transferred over to James. And they showed how James was brought into leadership with the son, Robert Cecil, because after the father set up the coup of assassinating Mary, Queen of Scots, who was trying to kill her cousin, Elizabeth I. She gave a nod to it, but pretended like she didn't give him the authority, and then went through this, having the vapors and going into this, manic, overly emotional response of finding out that Mary, Queen of Scots was beheaded, I might add, for supposedly causing an insurrection or plotting as the Catholic Queen of Scotland to kill the Virgin Queen Elizabeth of the Protestant Great Britain. Okay, and so when James was brought in under the direction of the son, Robert Cecil, they showed the intrigue on how he said things. Do you remember V for Vendetta? Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
That was the movie that was...
Anonymous, where the mask, based on
that, where you get the mask. Yeah, when Anonymous got the mask from the movie, that character that he wear that mask. But that mask was supposed to be about Guy Fawkes. And in real life, Guy Fawkes, who was the creator of the gunpowder plot and was setting up to blow up Parliament at the time that he was being coronated, that King James was about to come into power, and all of the, the monarchy, the noble lords, etc., were gathered in one place. There was this Catholic priest named Gerard. And that's how they unraveled all this thing with the complexity of the Catholic, hegemony, and the Pope being the only authorized body of giving power to monarchy. And the Protestant revolt, if you will, because don't forget, James was the son of the Catholic Queen. And he had a Catholic spouse. Of course, then they flipped the script once the white man adopted or stole the identity and tried to create a white version. They implied he had homosexual tendencies. We've heard all of this mythology, right? When they want to claim that he's no longer melanated, he's now pale-skinned, authoring the Bible, giving his ordination, and creating a Protestant ethic, and the the church, the official Church of England, would then evolve under a Protestant agenda of creating its own monarchy. Because remember, this actual church was created by Henry VIII when he was trying to divorce, wasn't it? Who was it? Was it Catherine, Chandra? Because I think he divorced Catherine to marry Anne Boleyn, who was...
he was trying to divorce, and it wasn't allowed.
And that's where he created the Church of England to tear away from being authorized through the Catholic hierarchy in the Vatican. I know I'm wandering here now, but I'm just saying this stuff came to mind when I was thinking what you were saying. So if you didn't know that, if you get a chance, check out PBS called The Queen's Secret Service. It talks about how it originated under Queen I, Elizabeth I, throughout her 40 years, and this is from 1560-ish or so, between 1550 and 1560 to 1604 when James was put in as her successor. And the two men in question over these 50 years is the father and son, William or Walter Cecil and Robert Cecil. So over 5 decades, these two men created the Secret Service of what we know it to be today. So in other words, James Bond, MI6, all that kind of stuff. These are the origins. These are the origin stories of the Secret Service, and I use it.
Thank you, brother. 832. Yeah, because that I definitely gonna check that out, because I told y'all I checked out the movie
Mary, Queen of Scots. And so everything he was describing about the two dudes conspiring, father and son, was also in Mary, Queen of Scots. But I didn't know how deep they went on to establish all of that Secret Service stuff. So I am going to check out that PBS thing as well. But I also recommend the Mary, Queen of Scots, because it also goes through everything that Brother 832 was talking about as well. So absolutely, thank you for that. Check out The Crown on Netflix. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to check that out. I was kind of on the fence, but I think I'm going to have to go back and check that out also. And the interesting part about it, before I did the series, The Black Nobility, y'all, I could not stand any of those English historical movies, series. I didn't like none of that shit. And then when I started doing research for the Black Nobility series, I started going back watching them, and now I love them because I can line that shit up. And they tell on themselves every time. And every one that I have watched, they always sneak in pictures of the melanated folks, the true Black nobility. They always sneak the pictures in there, and I just laugh to myself because I know what I'm looking at. Or you'll see them sneak in the original shields or the crest. You'll see them show like a split of a second frame of the original melanated crest. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to check both of them out for sure. So thank you, Brother 832. Damn, y'all. I hope y'all can get this book, White Trash, The 400 Untold History of Class in America. Hopefully they just sold out and they need to restock. And hopefully so, author Nancy Eisenberg, because you fucking deserve it. You laid this book all the way out. Much respect. Now, my sis dropped in the YouTube chat room that people were also saying that not Elijah Muhammad's book, The Fall of America, you can't get that on Amazon either. And we covered that book, damn, was it 4 years ago? Mm-hmm. We covered that book. And that shit is playing out just like the book said it would play out. So I find it interesting that now that book is not available.
If you think about it.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Brother Sean.
Considering who the rulership, quote unquote, rulership is supposed to go back to, considering the part that he played in it being a student.
Indeed.
And, I guess they just didn't expect it to split off into so many factions and for so much to come out. They assumed by now that during their resting period and awakening, that everyone would just go along with Moorish doctrine, because
that's exactly what they expected.
Because it can be found throughout history about their rulership. And that, in collusion with the Bible and the 13 bloodlines, which excludes everybody else. You have to accept being nationalized or brought off into their movement, giving up all of your birthrights, your natural divine birthrights, to sign them over to a corporation that wants to continue its empire.
Exactly.
And this whole kneeling and washing the foot thing is what they were used to. Ain't that what they were created for? But through this social experiment that they chose to put here, they let them see what it's like to have some power.
Yep.
And now they realize that they can't control the power because it wasn't theirs to begin with.
Exactly.
I mean, we can't confuse the fact that fear has emerged itself within them on a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
You have to remember it's that fear and everything that made them so deceitful and cunning to begin with. And considering some would love to have them be around forever.
Right.
Do you think that that is ever going to leave out of their DNA? That innate trait that they're destructive by nature. It's never going to leave them. Ever. Some may claim they want peace, but their very survival is off of those of their species who war. They fight for a whole different reason than we do. They fight with a whole different logic and perspective than we do.
Yeah.
We get lazy because we gods, and we done been through thousands of these cycles.
Right.
But you forget that these are cycles of a fall. These are cycles of quote-unquote hell.
Yes.
And their very existence is unnatural. I'm not saying to go out and wipe them all out. That's going to happen anyway. I don't care what y'all do to try and keep them around, how much you amalgamate with them, this, that, or the other. All unnatural things must go. And somebody washing my feet ain't shit. You can go get a massage and get that done. Get your feet done. Get your feet washed. All type of motherfuckers will kneel at your feet for a few dollars. Or if they figure it's going to keep you off their ass for a minute. That's all them cops in South Africa was doing. They're like, hold up, these niggas was taking farmland and shit back, and now they riding over a crackhead in America. These niggas about to go crazy. Let me watch a couple feet so I can go to sleep. You think that same motherfucker ain't gonna turn around and bust one of them niggas upside their head? They do something. I mean, if all I got to do is wash your feet to get you to relax again, and I continue to go about my fuckery, you think I won't kneel before you and wash your feet? That ain't shit. I can wash my hands after that. Going about my goddamn business. And you living in La La Land, and I'm about to shoot you in a couple of weeks. You still think that these people give a fuck about you. This whole fight for equality has always been for them. They've always had nothing. These books that you're being read is telling you that they were nothing, considered to be less than slaves. Nothing. Equality is a win for them. For God to say that these low-lifed nothings are equal to them. And you think it's you that's fighting for equality. Right now you're saying that you're less than what they've always considered to be less, the worst, lowest scum on earth. You say you want to be equal to that. Equal on your shit with motherfuckers that don't belong here. Now, everybody that's all for equality, email me your address and shit. I want to come over there and be equal with all your shit. Your food, shoot me the bank card, give me the code. I want equality like they want equality. Do you think that they're supposed to be equal over here? Let me be equal in your house. I mean, I'll leave eventually because there's a lot of houses I got to go be equal at. I ain't got time to hang with everybody all day, every day. But I digress.
And it's interesting because when I saw that watching a defeat situation, again, another ritual. Let's be clear.
Indeed.
Let's be clear. Another ritual. And again,
did you see the praying?
What you say, sis?
Did you see the praying? They bowing and praying at their feet. Right.
So, again, that is a ritual telling you the transfer of power, and that's the ritual asking the melanated folk to still let them coexist. Literally. That's what that's about. That's a ritual. So saying, yes, we recognize what age we are in. We recognize that the transfer of power has to go back to melanated. We are willing to serve at your feet in order to survive. That's what that means. Now, Caucasians, I know this is going to be a rough one for y'all tonight. But literally, the kneeling up in that motherfucking Capitol, ritual. The washing of the feet, ritual. It is telling you the transfer of power. Why do you think the Confederate, not the Confederate, and we need to talk about that Confederacy, but why do you think the statues are coming down? They're telling you it is the transfer of power from the quote, Caucasians back over to the melanated. So now the Caucasians have to appeal to the melanated folk to keep existing, because they don't want to go back to the state of indentured servitude. They don't want to go back to that. So now they want, as Brother Sean said, as he broadly said, equal rights. So melanated people pay very close attention Pay very close attention because it's deeper than this physical shit. We talking the changing of an age. Thousands and thousands and thousands upon thousands of years. The decisions you are going to make now, and actually, really, the decision has already been made, but that's a separate story. That's why we tell you to go within, to be in tune, because you would be tapping into those things and you would know it. But what you are doing in this physical realm is determining how you are going to set yourself up for this next cycle. So you better be doing some long and hard internal soul searching. I told you all, this is about your soul consciousness. And where the next cycle is going to take you, if you are not going to the higher realms, you're going into that whole humanism phase.
That ain't happening.
With all of this high technology, all that whoop-de-whoop, this, that, and the third.
Oh, God,
Make no mistake about it, melanated people will be ruling. But again, all of that is an illusion, because at the end of the day, it's still going to be a low vibrational realm, and it's still going to be some type of monetary system set up, and it's still going to be the same bloodlines ruling that same fucking system, except now the faces will be melanated. And so you're going to get through 1,000 years worth of peace. Ain't that what they books say, Brother Sean? Don't they say a motherfucking 1,000 years? A motherfucking peace?
Indeed. Yep.
Before the fuck shit starts all over again. So pay attention to what's going on. Okay, I'm getting a lot of feedback from somebody. Pay attention to what's going on. When they do these different things like the kneeling in the motherfucking Capitol, the washing of the feet, the tearing down of the statues, and this is going on around the world with the tearing down of motherfucking statues, those are rituals. That's why the media, the news media, has not let up about having the discussion of racism, having the discussion about white privilege. That's why they haven't let up, because you are witnessing the transfer of power. But as the brother said on New Earth Productions, all of it is going to be gone in the higher realms. On a spiritual soul consciousness level, you are supposed to be creating your own reality. So that conflict within yourself, you have to resolve it. So meaning, you can't say you want to be in a high vibrational realm, this, that, and the third, but yet you want your fiat and you want a chance to rule, and you want white folks or whomever the fuck to be serving up under you. That doesn't match with high vibrational shit. So the decision is solely yours. And I mean that in a physical perspective and a spiritual perspective. These are very amazing time. It is an amazing time what we are witnessing in the physical. We're literally seeing a cycle change.
You're going to see it, or you are seeing it, or you should be seeing it physically. So meaning Mother Earth, you should be seeing her physically change. So,
yeah,
all right.
May.
Go ahead, Brother Sean.
It's also a matter of knowing her natural changes, apart from the changes that they are attempting to make.
Attempting is the operative word. Exactly.
If these statues offend y'all, we'll take them down.
Yep.
We just don't need all y'all to remember who y'all. We don't need all y'all to ascend. We're going to be stuck in this third realm with nothing to eat.
Exactly.
So we need some of y'all to stay here and take care of us. We realize now that we can't rule. We see now that our very survival depends on letting you rule.
Yep.
We know that y'all had the best relationship with Mama. Could you get your mama to stop slapping me? I'm your friend now. I gave you your toy back. Could you tell your mother to let me come over? Right.
Exactly.
It's all bullshit. Like the ritual said, they're kneeling saying that, look, I'm willing to be submissive. Just don't destroy me.
Yep. Get your mama off my ass. And I done told you, I can't get my mama off your ass, motherfucker. I can't do it.
I told you not to do it.
You got me all the way fucked up. Because you ain't finna have her fuck me up and to say, oh, goddamn it, so you want to jump in this? You want to jump into this too? So I'm going to get in your ass when I'm finished getting in theirs.
Right. I mean, the choice is easy to me. I'm choosing Mama. Fuck what you told Mama. Mama, I'm going to say it there, so, that's what it is. Peace.
I can't help you on this one. I really can't. And Yiddy says in the chat, blue, red, purple sunset this evening. Absolutely. We are literally witnessing all of this. If you in tune and you paying attention, it was a storm here. Was that yesterday? Yeah, that was yesterday. That was yesterday. So I was on the phone with my sis, and so I got the news on, and I'm watching the radar, and I'm watching the storm, this, that, and the third. So they're showing with their cameras, because you know the little news got their little cameras set up to show the weather, this, that, and the third. And I keep telling y'all, I consistently see the sunset and the sunrise. I see the different hues, the UV radiation in the sky, and I'm also seeing those comet dust particles because it's green. So this particular day, I'm sitting here, storm kicking up big time, tornadoes jumping off, woo, this, that, and the third, heavy cloud, and coming across the computer screen was this big, thick ass green cloud dust. And I immediately took a picture of it, and I'll have it for you next week. I didn't even think about loading it to show you tonight. And I sent it to my sis. I'm like, you see this bullshit? Literally, these are the things that you are witnessing. Somebody else posted a picture of a purple sky the other day. So, all right, here we go. We're going to get back into White Trash, the 400-Year Untold History of Class in America by Nancy Eisenberg. If you are with us on the phone,
you want to put something on it, on the new system, you got to press *6 to get in the queue. All right, here we go. All right, so remember, y'all, last week she talked about how Caucasians pretty much, they done set up their own motherfucking identity. They basically invented their own identity and invented a pedigree within their own quote race, within the own Caucasian race. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we told you where that term Anglo-Saxon came from. We told you that that is not a white term. We told you through the research that the Anglo-Saxons, the original ones, are melanated, of that melanated black nobility bloodline. And if you are looking at this via YouTube, I think I have that crest, that Anglo-Saxon crest is going to come across the screen. So they hijacked the identity of Anglo-Saxon. Then they went into separating within their Caucasian race who was what. So meaning like a caste system. You're on this level, you're on that level, you're on this level, you're on that level. This is within the Caucasian race. All right? So, before I forget again, y'all know that now they're having a discussion about the Confederate flag, the motherfucking NASCAR stuff. Now, because now NASCAR has come out and said that they're banning the Confederate flag because it represents racism, this, that, and the third. Melanated folk and Caucasian people too, you need to know this too. That Confederate flag, that's not Caucasian people shit. The Confederacy was started by indigenous tribes who had partnered and married with melanated Europeans, so indigenous melanated American Indian tribes marrying with melanated Europeans. They came together and formed these different nations, and they created the Confederacies. So if you research and you look at the different, if you research and look at the original Confederacy flag, it's going to show you indigenous tribe nations on that flag. Okay? So everything that they are putting back before you, saying that is quote, quote, racist, was really started by melanated folk / melanated European folks, and it's just that the Caucasian whites adopted it. They took over the identity. So to show you how folks are so separated from really what's going on.
You know, on the internet, AT&T, they have George Floyd's face on a Confederate statue that was beheaded.
They say that again. They had what? I'm sorry, sis.
They had a statue. I don't know what it is. I saw it earlier, and I was waiting until we got to this point. But they had a statue that was beheaded, and they had an image of George Floyd, whole, face and everything, on that statue.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. I said, whoa, what in the world is that? Because I know the Confederate was melanated fighting against Lincoln because he wanted to make us perpetual slaves.
And to show you how deep this stuff runs, because we know that Lincoln was a melanated man, and then we learned last week that his bloodline ties back to one of those, quote, quote, 13 ruling European bloodlines.
Yeah, I have that stuff in that book, too, by the way. On his father's side, actually, Abraham Lincoln was there. And some people say he was related to the Rothschilds as well.
Yeah,
that's what they say in here about him. Let's see, I'm trying to figure it out. But anyway, they put George Floyd's image on one of those statues. Let me see if I could. Let me see if it was under currently, because I was looking under currently, I think, and I saw that. And that was the beginning of the show, and I really wanted to say something about it, but we weren't on that topic. But they put his image on there. On the
right.
And, so that's a ritual.
Tressie in the comments is saying the Iroquois Confederacy, exactly, and that was just one of them. The other one, damn, Sis Cheryl, if you have that flag, I think you posted that flag today. If you have that flag, can you drop it in my box so I can read the names of those nations on that flag, so folks can be real clear on that Confederacy flag? If you can get to it right quick. But I'm sorry, go ahead on, Sis Sandra.
I think they took it down because I'm looking for it on my news thing right now, my news ticker, and I'm scrolling and I don't see it anymore on the news or currently. Because this is really at the beginning of it, and they had put it over one of the Confederate, and Nancy Pelosi, of course, is calling for the Confederate statues to be dismantled. Well, so they're kneeling with one. This is that backstabbing stuff. They're kneeling with one knee, and they're conspiring with another in their mind to keep themselves in control. Because we don't know our history, so we think the Confederate part of it is the slavery part. And they were fighting Lincoln to make sure we were becoming perpetual slaves. I was trying to look at this here. I can't remember which page it was on, but it was talking about Abraham. Oh, here it is. Abraham Lincoln had his daddy, I think it was, had an affair with a lady called Nancy Hanks and gave birth to a son in 1808 after an affair with Spring's father. In his will, his father left a large area of land in Huntsville, Alabama, to a son, Abraham Lincoln. Rumor that Lincoln was a Rothschild would appear to have a basis in fact. In the 1850s, Lincoln's own affair with the daughter of the German monarch Leopold in 1856 produced twin girls, Ella and Emily. One of the descendants of this line was the billionaire Howard Hughes. That was funny. I said, what? Many of the famous American families who appeared to be powerful in their own right turned out to have been legmen for the Paysor and the Virginia Company. And I found also that because the South lost the war, their railroad property went to the North. and that's how the Pacers got the rest of it.
Now that's interesting, sis.
Yeah, I want to find that part. I didn't highlight it. I was just in there because they, Pike and another dude, one was in the South, one was in the North, instigating the wars between, the Civil War. And when it jumped off, they were the instigators of it. And I didn't know that Albert Pike was a part of that, but that's probably why they have that statue of him worshiping his butt in Washington.
Right.
You'd think that would be because he fought for the Union, but no, it's because he's the one who instigated the Civil War. But that was in this David Icke's The Biggest Secret. This is where I'm reading from.
Okay, got you. Okay, yeah, thank you for giving that source. Some folk are dropping in the chat for me what's on that original Confederacy flag. Now, I can't remember if Iroquois is on there. So the Iroquois Nation. I'm trying to physically remember it in my mind, but I know this one was definitely on there. Shiloh, Chickahominy, so Chickahominy. Okay, so I'll get the flag next week and I'll display it for the family if I don't get it tonight. And absolutely, folks in the chat have been dropping, well, isn't that Confederate flag with that X represent the matriarch? Absolutely.
But now they want to take it down, so they double cross it or try to play fast and loose for those who don't know what that means. Because they bow into us melanated people, the man. And the time of the male is over. It's even over in the Bible. Because they said in, I think it was Isaiah, this is a new day. It's for the woman to be the leader. I read that. I started cracking up when I read that. I thought about you. It was in Isaiah.
But then when I say that, folks want to get up in their feelings, you don't have to get up in your feelings to me. Go out and explain that to the plasma, how you feel it's a patriarch world. But someone else jumped in the chat room. Each one dropped Chickamauga. So we're talking Chickahominy, Shiloh, and Chickamauga on that original Confederate flag, and those nations are sitting on top of the X, meaning the feminine original gene, because everything stems from the woman. The inheritance of the land is through the woman. Land was never supposed to be transferred through men. It was supposed to stay through the lineage of the woman. That's why indigenous people had matriarch societies.
Mm-hmm.
So when we as indigenous people started going against nature, started going against mama, we were out of order then.
Oh, here it is right here for the Civil War. Americans, after the white first arrived, the War of Independence and the Civil War, when the states of the South sought to withdraw from the Union in 1860, we have seen that the wars was the Native Americans and the War of Independence. Well, it's not Native Americans, that's a hijack. were engineered by the Brotherhood, and at the same time of the Civil War also, leading Freemasons from all over Europe attended 6 Masonic festivals in Paris between 1841 and 1845, and it was at 6 secret Supreme Council meetings held under the cover of these events that the American Civil War was planned to further impose Masonic reptilian Aryan control on America. Lord Palmerston, the British Foreign Secretary and Prime Minister, and a Grand Patriarch of Freemasonry, was at the heart of these conspiracies to 33rd degree. And let's see, I want to get to the part where it says that the South had to give up their stuff. But you can go ahead and do your thing until I find it, because I haven't found it yet. But that's what happened.
While doing that, I was looking for this doggone flag, because I actually have it in my file somewhere, because I posted it before. So anyhow, I'll originally I'll find it. If I don't get it this week, I'll have it up for you all next week. All right. So
yeah, because they said the Confederate flag had 13 stars, a sacred number of the Freemasons and the Knights Templar. That's what it says here.
Yeah. Now I just pulled up one. It has like the Cherokee Braves, but that wasn't a Confederate flag. So yeah, so everything that the narrative that they're telling today is total in reverse, and it's identity theft.
Exactly.
I sent you the flag.
Go ahead, Brother Sean.
I sent you the flag. I couldn't find the one with the names on it, but I found 2 flags that they got listed as Iroquois Confederate flags.
Yeah.
Peso went down to the Virginia companies. They lost their titles over that stuff, according to this thing.
I sent it to you on Messenger.
Yeah, I'm looking through it now, Brother Sean.
But look at the one with the crescent moon and stars.
Hey, yes you did. Yes you did. You found it. It was in there. So hold on a minute, y'all, because I got it in my files. So we finna do this right on quick, y'all. Okay, I want to resave this. So let me blow this up for the brothers and sisters.
You know, AT&T was part of the Paysar Empire.
Yeah, we read them on the when we was going through
I tried my best to get away from them folks, but they keep taking over every company I go to. So I finally gave up.
Well, now you know why. Now you know how far back they go. All right, family, let me bring up the flag. Okay. Yeah, Brother Sean.
You should bring up that other one, too.
Okay.
I got it.
All right, family. You should be seeing it now. 18th Alabama Infantry. Oh, yeah, we can even order a copy of this.
We should start flying our Confederate flags, and white folks will die. They just probably pass out. Like, what? That would send up a good message.
So, all right, y'all was right, family. Oh, damn, y'all, this shit is deep. So, you have Shiloh. It's interesting because my mother went to a back in the day, y'all, they called, when you didn't go to public schools, parochial. I guess I need to search the etymology of that. But
that's the Catholic stuff, ain't it? Yeah.
Not Shiloh, no ma'am.
Not Shiloh, no.
Oh, parochial. Oh, okay. Yeah, that could be it, sis.
Yeah,
okay.
That's Catholicism.
But the name of that private school was Shiloh. And, so the name of that school was Shiloh. All right. So, I can't read this name, y'all, on the side. I'm on the little left-hand side right here. Starting with the R. I think that's Rockyface. Now, y'all, we can't make this up. I'm finna jump on the other side, YouTube, because it's a lag from what me talking and you all seeing it. Blackland?
Yep. That's Liberia? No? Yeah.
So, Caucasians, melanated folks, you see this? This is the Confederate flag. This is one of them. The 18th Alabama Infantry. Blackland. And here is the other one, the Chickamauga. Lookout Mountain. Now here's the X, representing the matriarch's genealogy. We know at least one of these is a nation, this Chickamauga. The Blackland, I don't know if that was a nation or if it was considered a territory. I don't know if this other one, the Rockyface, was a nation or a territory. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on this Shiloh, because that's very, very interesting to me.
I remember that word, Shiloh, but I can't remember.
Yeah, like I said, my mom and some of my aunts and them literally went to a private school called Shiloh. So I'm going to have to research that a little bit more. Exactly, Sis Divinity. You was going where I was going. Here is the first X. Here is the second X. So if there's any doubt that this Confederate flag represents the matriarch genealogy, it shouldn't be. They're showing you one X and right in there the other X. So how many stars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I don't know if it's a star under there, 12. But it could be, my bad, it could be a star there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there you go. So Brother Sean, what's the other one you said you want me to bring up? But let me read right quick so we're clear what this is. Flags of this pattern were manufactured in Mobile, Alabama, and issued within the Department of Alabama, Mississippi, and East Louisiana. The 18th Alabama Infantry lost its hardy pattern flag at Missionary Ridge on November 25th, 1863. This flag was issued to the regiment sometime after the Battle of Rocky Face Ridge, February 25th, 1864, which is the last battle honored listed on the flag. The flag of the 38th Alabama Infantry, issued at the same time, was captured at the Battle of Resaca, Georgia, on May 25th, 1864. Damn, y'all, because I was like, I thought Lookout Mountain was in Georgia. I could have sworn it was in Georgia. Okay. This flag may have been captured during the same engagement. A letter dated May 21st, 1864, written by Private William Wallace of the 3rd Wisconsin Infantry, mentions the capture of a flag by his brigade. The 3rd Wisconsin served opposite the 18th Alabama Infantry. The flag was eventually acquired by Captain J.C. Delaney, 107th Pennsylvania Volunteer Infantry. On August 30th, 1915, Nelson Wilson, a Washington attorney acting for C.H. Delaney, son of Captain Delaney, offered the flag for sale. The Alabama Department of Archives and History purchased the flag for the sum of $40 on January 6, 1917. This flag is one of the 4 nearly identical flags in the department's collection, which were carried by regiments within the brigade of Brigadier General H.D. Clayton. Damn, get the fuck out of here, y'all. Georgia, outside of Atlanta, has a county called Clayton. So that's obviously named after General H.D. Clayton at the Battle of Resaca, Georgia. Dang, y'all. So let's be clear. White folk, you repping this motherfucking Confederate flag, thinking it's your people? Sorry, boo. Sorry to hurt your feelings. Melanated people thinking that this flag represents white supremacy. Sorry, boo. Sorry, boo. No. It was the indigenated melanin and the black Europeans that had married into those nations fighting the Brits.
It is.
So white folk, next time you want, especially y'all up out of Alabama, remember this motherfucking Confederate flag with black land. I'm sorry, go ahead, Brother Sean.
The Battle of Shiloh was a battle in the Western Theater of American Civil War, fought April 6, 1862. And Shiloh, it is a biblical place mentioned in Genesis 49:10, meaning peace. Christians claim it as a reference to Jesus, but Muslims claim it as a reference to Islam. Now bring up that other flag that I sent you.
Okay, let me go back. Hold on. I don't want to be bringing up emails.
This rabbit hole's getting deep, ain't it?
I know that's why I love y'all, because y'all are very intelligent folk. I so appreciate the families, because the listeners, you all are highly intelligent, and y'all be bringing it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, brother. The first flag image you sent me, or the second one?
The first one with the crescent moon and star.
Okay, let me bring it back up. Let me close some of this stuff down because I don't want the system to be getting slow. Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. Okay, let me blow that one up.
Yeah, that came up under Iroquois Confederacy.
Wait a minute. Okay, well, I got to go back because when I try to blow it up, no, it says the... Wait, let me go back to the original picture.
Did you see the crescent and the star?
Yeah, that... Wait a minute. I'm going to bring it up, y'all, because of... I thought, Brother Sean, I had clicked on something wrong. So
I heard you say it. I'm like, what? The Iroquois crescent and the star? So they were the Moorish people.
All right. It's coming up. It should be coming up. It's a lag time.
Now that is crazy.
So, it says Iroquois Confederacy isolated on white background. So you talking, Brother Sean, this first flag with the star, the crescent moon, and the Knights Templar Red Cross. Oops, did I say that?
Yep. And remember what I just read about how Islam claims the name Shiloh?
Oh, wow.
Do you mind reading that again so folks can be straight up clear on it?
All right, let me find it. Got to pull it back up.
Which makes sense because that school that my mom and my aunt them went to was religious in nature, but they were more on the worshiping the Sabbath and all of that.
Oh, that was under Shiloh.
Wow. I'm still tripping that that's showing up that way. So I'm going to just click in here. Okay, it just shows.
Shiloh is a biblical place mentioned in Genesis 49:10, meaning peace. Christians claim it as reference to Jesus, but Muslims claim it as a reference to Islam.
Wow.
And Shiloh is on that original flag that you first showed.
Yes. So would that not go right along with what I said with the Indigenous of the Americas marrying with the melanated Europeans? That's how, Dad, I didn't close the flag out, y'all. Doggone it. That original Confederate flag that I had up with Shiloh on it. That would make sense. That lines up. So thank you for researching that Shiloh. I figured it was going to tie back to that, but you just confirmed it. Wow. All right. Here we go, y'all. We can't make this stuff up. But
Trump don't want him to take down them statues and those flags and change the names of the military. See, so the Democrats are the demonocracy of Satanism and all that, because that's the root word is demon. So they want it changed. So that'll give them to still be in control. But Trump says no.
Who to still be in control? The Caucasians?
Well, you know, they gonna work along with us. You know, the new change. The Democrats. They trying to get themselves still in power here. Stay with us. So Trump, they have him as a white supremacist, and he said, no, don't change the name of the military bases. Don't do the flags. So because our people are lack of knowledge, and you're giving it to them right now, and hopefully they can spread this around, because we have lack of knowledge, we're going to give them the power to keep their names on stuff. But the Confederate flag would keep our names on it. You see what I'm saying?
I'm trying to follow, sis.
It's kind of like a double cross. See, the Democrats are going around there taking the Confederate everything down because our people don't know what it really means. Trump is saying, no, don't take it down.
I'm with you now. I'm with you.
And he's going to come out as a racist because that's how they have it. But he's really trying to say, this is your stuff. Don't take that down. Don't burn up them flags. Don't change the names. This is your people who did this. But, you know, our people don't know that. And the Democrats is the Democrats is playing fast and loose, you see. That's what I'm saying. They're playing fast and loose.
And, the Democrats...
I'm sorry, go ahead, Brother Sean.
The Democrats just throwing anything and everything out of there like they started this whole race thing, period.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
They're fighting for their very lives and their food source. People forget that some of the crimes that they're facing, crimes against humanity, pedophilia, cannibalism, human trafficking, genocide, all type of stuff that they are facing. And this is the things that he's exposing. I mean, as far as for the tearing down of this, that or the other, that could go either way. And basically, it's irrelevant. Because if you don't take care of that stuff, it withers and dries up. I mean, look at the Sphinx and all that other shit like that. It will eventually go. All that is just a distraction. If you passed the rioting stage. Everybody done got over that with George Floyd. Now you concentrate on which statues they do or don't tear down.
Right.
That's still keeping you divided from yourself, from focusing on what you should be focusing on. Who gives a fuck what they do with them statues? Because all it takes is for mama to shake her hip one time and all that shit gonna come falling down.
That's right.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I ain't worried about that bullshit. Because that's all it is bullshit. Now,
but this is a good test of people to know they don't know who they are. You know? Because you don't know who you are, and they know you don't know who you are. So they're still ahead.
Yeah, but also as far as for that Confederacy, again, because it was Aboriginal or melanated or whatever, it was still bullshit. I mean, it was something that the ancestors did. The ancestors did a lot of shit that was fuckery. Just because the ancestors did it don't make it right. Them motherfuckers cut deals. Them motherfuckers signed treaties.
Yes,
so I really don't give a fuck about that Confederate flag. That was something they put together to stake their claim. That's all the goddamn flag do is stake a claim to a certain territory, which is all patriarchal. So all this worship of flags and this, that, and the other, I don't give a fuck about nobody's flag. Nobody's flag.
No, I don't either.
It's all patriarchal bullshit.
I'm just thinking about the hypocrisy of it. It's hypocrisy what they're doing. But you know what? I agree with you. They don't mean anything, really.
But the thing is, we've been knowing for many, many moons that they had nothing. That everything that they got that they stole. So I mean, it shouldn't come as no surprise that they claim this or they claim this or they stole this or they said this or they said that. They had nothing. So everything they have is stolen. From their identity on down. Everything they have is stolen. Everything.
That's true. Right.
So now that we have all that established, now what? I mean, they can steal your name. They can steal names, okay. That's why I say let that go. You can re-identify yourself according to the frequency in which you are existing at now.
Indeed.
Those terms are now low vibrational. They have been conquered, they have been butchered, and everything. Whatever power they had back then has been removed from them. We no longer exist in that time or that era where those names had power.
Mm-hmm.
You are creators. Recreate your new future. Just like the ancestors back then took and merged bloodlines to create confederacies and nations and this, that, and the other. Move on. Do the same thing. They showed you examples of what to do and what not to do. Get back to creating. I mean, because if you really think about it, with all the mixing of the bloodlines amongst melanated people and people not knowing who they are, how many different tribes are the star seeds consisting of? They can't claim just one because some star seeds and some of us are mixed with 5, 6, 7, 8 different tribes.
True that.
So, I mean, what our ancestors were, we are that and more.
Exactly.
Our bloodline is too diverse to really just focus on one. If you tap in and able to commune with your ancestors, how many different bloodlines may you be tapping into? How many different perspectives of knowledge and experience would you be tapping into? It goes so much deeper than this small shit that we sitting up bickering over. We're so far removed from the concept of being creators without limits.
Yes.
That we created bullshit that limits had to be placed on.
Yep.
The higher frequencies is where the limitless creations take place. But they follow natural law and order.
That is right. That is correct.
That's what we need to be getting to. That's why it's important to know self. Because you can't just look back to your great-great-great-grandmama because you're comprised of different other clan mothers from other bloodlines.
Indeed.
All of which that need to be tapped into. But it's up to you. I mean, you can follow their narrative or be what they've even admitted that you are. Because any of them that's talking about spirituality and ascension and this, that, and the other, They're not basing it off of personal experience. They're basing it off of our ancestral teachings. So none of it is theirs. Quit giving them the power of even saying this is theirs or that is theirs. All they have is a perverted version of things because of their inability to really tap in and fully feel. They can't feel these things. Just like Anthol Chronicles. They can't dream the way that we dream.
Right.
All of this is natural. It's nothing to fear. It's nothing to be spooky about. It's you. You scared of you. But I digress.
Indeed, brother, indeed. All right, y'all. Dang, we only got 10 more minutes. And I ain't read one little sentence. So, but that's okay. That's okay. We needed to get that out. So, of course, we're going to come back next week to chop it up because it all still tied back in. We gave folks the true story, that motherfucking Confederate flag. So, melanated people, you have officially been put on notice. Caucasian people, you have been officially put on notice. All right. So, with that said, sis, you have any last words for the family? Oh, and
well, you know what?
Wait just a second for me. Brother Sean, people were tickled when you said it's going to be over when Mama shake her hip. Oh, we can shake her hip.
California always shaking.
I love it because I could just see her. Oh, wait a minute. Sis Cheryl sent me that other flag. But go ahead, Sis Sandra. I'm finna pull it, Sis Cheryl.
No, I was just saying, actually I said first, California is always shaking their hips. It's pretty a pleasure to be alive to see this transition. I like to see this. This is great stuff. And I hope whoever or we try to do for ourselves or whatever we try to do for ourselves, it's going to be for ourselves and not to have some stragglers on that we're going to take with us. And because it's our turn. It's our time. So that's all I have to say. I love the information that the family has given us, and I like the interaction with them, really. And thank you, Brother Sean, and Sister Rhonda, and Brother 832. What is it? 832?
832.
Yeah. He has always come up with a lot of wisdom. I like that.
Indeed. Yes, it's Cheryl. This is the same flag that Brother Sean had pulled. He found. Yep. Oh, this one says the Confederate flag, Black Land. The Battle of Black Land.
Oh, so it has something for different battles. So.
The Battle of Black Land. So, Caucasians, this did not say the Battle of the Squatters. It didn't say the Battle of Caucasians or the Pilgrims or none of that. Melanated people.
Is that Oklahoma?
It didn't say that. It says the Battle of Black Land.
Well, they said Africa.
No, it's not Oklahoma. They clearly said Alabama because this is the 18th.
What's Alabama?
Yeah, this is clearly Alabama.
Okay.
Because the Chickamauga, let me pull it back up now. I'm reading it to y'all, and I got the little technology. You can't tell me nothing.
They call African land or something. Little Africa or something, yes. For Tulsa.
So I'll blow this up. So y'all proceed, because I don't want to put no words, make up my own motherfucking words, because it's right there in my face. At the top of the flag, it says the 18th Regiment, Alabama. I can't read that Y-O, I don't know what that is. Shiloh, right there. Black land. This Raka Yisi and Chickamauga. Lookout Mountain.
It looks like Rocky Face.
What you say?
It looks like Rocky Face. It looks like Rocky Face.
Okay, Rocky Face. Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, that makes sense. Rocky Face. Thank you. I just could not make that out. That makes sense. Rocky Face. So I'm assuming the Lookout Mountain one, unless they change the locations. I know the Lookout Mountain is in Georgia today, so maybe this particular
that's
Georgia.
Stone Mountain.
Because Shiloh, that took place in Tennessee.
Got
the Battle of Shiloh took place in Tennessee.
Okay. But this post, whoever put this original post out is saying the Battle of Blackland.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying when I read from the Battle of Shiloh, it had said that it was in Tennessee.
Okay. Yeah. No. I'm with you, Brother Sean. I'm with you. All right. So thanks, Sis Cheryl. Brother Sean, you have any last words for the family?
Family, I love y'all. Y'all may not be my bloodline, but y'all my frequency family. And we about to be all right.
Yeah.
All we got to do is stay focused and do what we supposed to do. Wholeness and power.
All right, family. So, for me, this has certainly been a hell of a journey. I can't even remember how long we've been on the air now, because my sis dropped in the chat that we did the shows on the fall of America back in 2015.
I came in on June of 16, and you guys have been on a while.
Okay. So it has been a hell of a journey for me, and I am personally so appreciative of you all because I get so much out of it, which is the reason why I keep doing what I'm doing as well. It is certainly a pleasure to chop it up with you all every week. I appreciate you all as an audience because I'm going to be honest. And I don't care if I hurt people's feelings. It is what it is. But I listen to a lot of other shows. But you all are very, very savvy. You're extremely savvy and extremely intelligent. I'm not going to lie. And I absolutely love it. So with you all, your participation in the show, you are bringing across that frequency of truth that is resonating throughout Mama to change the frequency, to raise the frequency,
right,
and to send those sparks to folks to wake them up out of that spell. So pat yourself on the back. It's being who you are. Trust me, I know. It's not easy. Because I know y'all been at this for many, many years. Some of us old heads for decades. People looking at you like you motherfucking crazy. And all that stuff you've been telling them for decades. Now that shit is coming to light. So stop and give yourself the honor for being who you are. You chose to come back to this cycle to help usher in this important cycle. You made that choice. And it is an honor and a privilege for you to be where you are right now at this frequency perspective. That's a high honor. And I hope that you all enter and understand how special you are, what high priests and priestesses you are, to be able to absorb this information, be able to put the information out across the ethers. I told y'all, out of 100%, it's only going to be 1% that totally sees through the veil. So honor yourself. Love yourself. You have broken generational curses on this realm and other realms. And so now you can move on. You could do whatever you choose to do, create whatever you choose to create. So keep loving yourself. I thank you all. I honor and I respect you all. So with that said, YouTube family, because of YouTube and they raglass policies, I can't even play a beautiful song for you because of copyright issues. But we're going to rock out with Lenny Kravitz, Raise Your Vibration. So I honor, love, and respect y'all. We will be back next week to chop it up some more. Thank you to the YouTube chat room. Thank you to Brother 832. Thank you to the family callers. Thank you, Sis Sandra and Brother Sean. So peace and love. YouTube, we'll be back next week.
Peace and love.